Hello and welcome. I'm your host, Wayne Blue. I'm joined by co-host Alex Wong. You're listening to the Hello and Welcome podcast presented by Betway. It is Monday, April 28th. It is election day all across Canada. Go out there and vote. Today I just voted. It literally took me, I was in and out in like 3 minutes. It's pretty incredible. Yeah, it was in and out in 3 minutes. Got my vote in, of course, for the future of this country. Alex Wong, I know you also voted this morning. What's going on with you, man?
Yeah, I voted for I think the third time in my life.
What?
It's been it feels like vote.
Wait, hold on. Are you being for real right now?
Yeah, voting's become more important in the last few years. So
Wow.
it seems to be a trendy thing to do. So I've been jumping on that.
That's crazy. Wait, 3 times?
Three or four, yeah, So
No way.
I finally caught up. I'm with the world now.
Okay, gotcha.
I understand these things are important. So, yeah, vote with your heart. If you're a Marxist Leninist, they're on the ballot. So so vote with your heart.
Wow.
The future of the country depends on you. I feel like I'm about to do.
Brain. Vote with
I
your
feel like
brain.
I'm about to do an Ernie Johnson. I'm gonna vote independent.
Oh, that was crazy. he gassed it all the way up, and then he was like, "I'm going independent."
I'm never forgiving him for that. By the way,
That's an all-timer.
White privilege, man. But yeah, great weekend of hoops.
Elite weekend of hoops, man.
Like I told you, the best games in a 7-game series are games 3 and 4. And that came to fruition over the weekend, man. Crazy finishes, man. Crazy games.
I mean, honestly, if you go just like result by result, like I think 6 of the 8 by my estimation were like must watch. Cavs Heat, obviously that's a brick. Like
Cavs Heat.
Nobody's Heat.
The only people paying attention to Cavs Heat is Darius Garland and Tyler Hero's families.
Well, the Darius Garland didn't even. He talked all that shit about how like, oh, we're gonna go at Tyler Hero on defense, and Tyler Hero was like, well, you can't be saying that when you don't play defense. And then Hero was in the game, but Darius Garland sat out with the toe injury.
Oh yeah.
Might be the first instance of a guy talking shit and then sitting out.
That's actually the only series that I haven't been watching. Like even
You don't need
Celtics,
to watch it, man.
even Celtics Magic made it into the watchables for me.
Yeah,
Because
That was good last night.
the old cliche, like a series doesn't start until a home team loses a game.
Well,
And they made it to game 4 with it. But Boston was really impressive yesterday, so give it to
Yeah.
them. They always, they're still the favorites to me. Are they the favorites? Maybe OKC.
I mean,
I
look,
don't
man,
know.
it's my boy Tatum. Actually, the only issue with Boston for me is just the injuries are really starting to pile up. Like Jaylen Brown had suffered, I guess he had a knee thing going into the playoffs. Drew Holiday has just not played the last 2. They're hopeful that he can play for Game 5. Kristaps Porzingis has been elbowed in the head and he's like cut open like Harry Potter on the forehead, and he's also just like generally banged up. It was like questionable. He didn't even start the second half. Like Luke Cornett was out there, which was crazy. I'm like, wait, hold on. The Celtics might not be invincible if Luke Cornett is out
What's
there.
a polar bear doing at the former Amway Center?
No, but seriously, what's the polar bear doing in the Kia Center? Apparently, Tatum's been dragged down. He hurt his wrist. They've been slapping at that wrist too. And then of course who else was injured in this series?
I think those are the main ones.
Those are the. Oh yeah, but like that's a lot. You know.
Yeah,
what I mean?
they're dealing with a lot of different things. You would hope that those are things that can clear up like between rounds
Sure.
as well. But I hate to say it too, like I'm super impressed with Al Horford, man.
Oh,
This guy just keeps doing it. Like he's 38
Yep.
and he's like guarding some of the opposing team's best players.
Like he's on Bancaro in this series.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he's just such a solid guy in the playoffs. Like I almost feel like he's like their 3rd or 4th most important guy on this team.
I mean, in this series, like he's like last game he played 35 minutes. He's coming up with huge blocks, 5 blocks. Like Al Horford can just chill the whole regular season if he wants to, which honestly half the time they rest him plenty. But then he comes to the playoffs and he just ends up booming all these young stars, whether that's Giannis, whether that's Paolo.
He's guarded Embiid before to the point where the Sixers had to sign him.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. The Sixers are like, enough. And it's Marc Gasol free agent. We want to sign him too.
This is like if the Sixers tried to sign Shaq because they have Mutombo.
Yeah, they're signing every one of Embiid's dads and stuff.
Oh man. No, you got to give it to Al Horford, man. Even though he altered the career of our guy TJ Ford, but
Yeah.
you got to give it to Big Al, man.
You got to give the big out. But seriously, no, like this past weekend, like 6 of the 8 playoff series were like must watch. Thunder eliminate OKC. The Thunder eliminated the Grizzlies. The Nuggets, last second, like ridiculous, like buzzer beater with Aaron Gordon dunking the air ball from Nikola Jokic literally at the buzzer.
Hurt my soul. Man.
Hey, buddy, hurt all our souls, to be honest, because I don't know why I got talked into becoming a Clipper fan for the playoffs.
You're about to get talked in again today. Don't worry.
What's a Clipper fan doing in the NBA playoffs? Rockets Warriors was absolute cinema. That series is incredible.
I don't know about cinema, but
no, it was like Sinners. It was like a horror movie if you watch it as a fan of the Warriors or a fan of the Rockets, because it's ugly basketball all throughout.
Tough.
Knicks Pistons, also ugly basketball throughout, but absolutely jobbed at the end with Josh Hart closing out and clearly fouling Tim Hardaway Jr. in a 1-point game. No call. Referees admitted to a mistake in the pool report. I mean, that's not going to matter at all. The Knicks are up 3-1. They've kind of stolen 2 in Detroit now, both like last-second wins.
Yo, Pistons got to beat the Knicks 7 times to win this series.
Yo, it's actually, I feel bad for them.
Because Pistons can make a case for being the winner in every game. They've had a chance to win every single game.
For sure. Yeah. They played well enough to
the series should be 2-2. However you want to like chop it up, it should be 2-2, man.
Regardless, so that series is must-watch basketball. Lakers Timberwolves honestly has eked ahead of the Nuggets Clippers series for me as the most watchable game.
Really? Damn.
Yeah, this game last night, I mean, I guess it was the afternoon, man, but me just in the park watching Lakers Timberwolves on my phone while eating watermelon slices, man. Yo, me and Jerome just talking about Nas Reed and Edwards.
Once again, Streetlights versus Spotlights conference finals is on the ropes again.
Well, this was played in broad daylight, and
it's on the
LeBron
ropes,
James fouling Anthony Edwards in a very crucial play. I love how they're all crashing out. LeBron's crashing out. JJ Redick's crashing out. JJ Redick's like, full off, mask off. I'm just Nick Nurse. I'm gonna play all my
That's
starting
crazy.
five. I'm gonna play the entire second half, which was amazing.
It's not a good sign when you're playing all your guys the full second half in the third playoff game. It's not a good sign for the LA Spotlights, man.
Hey, the Spotlights are
my pick
tough,
is
man.
looking really good right now. Is all
You were the guy who picked Minnesota, and honestly, Minnesota looks phenomenal. I mean, they only finished with 1 less win than the Lakers. They were hotter going into the playoffs than the Lakers, and I have a hot take for later on. But I genuinely feel like Anthony Edwards has been playing better than either of LA's stars.
No, I got a hotter one than that, man.
You got a hotter one than that? Okay.
Mine is Nico might have been right.
No!
Oh, come on.
Oh, my God.
Not this Marxist lettuce, though.
No, the craziest thing is that we got a Nico Hive, and we also have what I discovered this weekend, #HamFC.
Oh,
right.
This is the people who support Darvin Ham.
Because Ham FC led the Lakers to the conference finals as a 7th seed in his first season as a Lakers
That he
coach.
did.
Yeah, it's really funny too. Like the first round is amazing for this. It's just how quickly like fan bases and storylines just turn.
Yeah.
Like it's so quick. Like I was just watching Stephen A on First Take before
you watch First Take?
coming on this pod, and they're already talking about whether long term this Luka trade is gonna be like a wash for Dallas and LA.
No.
Is this what happens when we delay our show half an hour?
Yo, the speed at which takes now fly on the internet is
and
like,
the segment was
crazy.
called Purple and Fold. Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty fire.
That was good.
What happened to Lakers in 5? What happened to OKC, KFC, UFC?
Well, what happened to
Lakers
Shannon
in 5?
Sharp? Yeah.
What happened to Shannon Sharp? Arguably not a worse week for anybody other than Shannon Sharp. Although we'll see what the results of this election.
I just want to shout out a sicko NBA friend day with Will, just because we played over 2 hours of basketball, don't talk for about an hour, and then we're just texting while we're both outside watching Minnesota Lakers on our phone.
Yo, that game was so good, man. That game down the stretch was, I mean, honestly, just the whole second half was incredible. And then honestly, I didn't expect that much from Orlando versus Boston, but Orlando's been pushing Boston a lot. Like you mentioned, there's been a lot of injuries, so that game went down to the wire, and then Jason Tatum kind of took over. Al Horford, like you mentioned, with some key stops. And then the last game of the night, that's probably the one that was depressing. I mean, it was still really fun for me to watch, considering the fact that like the Pacers' offense is just amazing. But obviously, you lose Dame in the first quarter with what is feared to be a torn Achilles. And that game, I mean, Doc Rivers even said it afterwards. He's like, yeah, my team was just deflated. But we'll start there because we have so much to talk about from this weekend of the playoffs. I'm going to give my 10 takeaways from another incredible weekend of playoff basketball. Let's start with number one. Conversation, unfortunately, has to pivot very quickly from what do the Bucks need to do to even come back in this series to what do the Bucks need to do this summer? Because most likely, if Giannis is not just the most loyal player in the NBA, most likely Giannis will demand a trade, and we will see the biggest movement of the offseason. We'll be tracking where does Giannis end up. Dame, it's not official yet, but I think it's pretty much clear that he tore his Achilles. That's going to hold him out until pretty much like a year from now, which means that he doesn't even play next season. The Bucks also are just really, really empty in their assets. Shouts to Matt at 6 Rings of Steel, which I think is a YouTube channel as well. He summarized it best. Whatever you think of Milwaukee's future, it might be worse. Dame is 34 and may not play again until 2027. They don't own their first round pick this draft. They have the least favorable first round swaps in 26, 28, and 30. They don't own any first in 27 or 29. They don't own their own first until 2031. Brooke Portis, Gary Trent Jr., Taurean Prince, Kevin Porter Jr., Ryan Rollins, all free agents this summer. And then also, who wants Kyle Kuzma right now? Plus their young core, quote unquote, is Tyler Smith, Chris Livingston, and Andre Jackson Jr. I have no idea what they do in the offseason. Alex Wong, is there any way the Bucks avoid trading Giannis this offseason?
Yeah, I got the best idea for the Milwaukee Bucks. So Dame's under contract, and I think he's making like 50 plus, maybe 60 plus.
He might be making 60 plus. Yeah.
Yeah, he might be making 60 plus. You know, another desperate team is the Phoenix Suns.
No.
You know what the Bucks should do? I feel like the money can work. Bradley Beal to the Bucks.
Oh my God.
For Dave Lillard. The Bucks throw in whatever picks they have left, and they go all in with Bradley Beal.
Oh my God.
I think this should be John Horse's last masterpiece. Yeah.
How could multiple teams have decided we got to go all in with Bradley Beal? Also, this is the ultimate I consent, I don't with Bradley Beal because he has the trade clause. There's no way, man.
The Bucks don't have much going for them.
They don't have anything going for them. Did you not hear what I just said with their situation?
I can't believe, like, yesterday being possibly Giannis's last home game in Milwaukee. He's going out with Kevin Porter Jr. being his sidekick. And Kyle Kuzma, who's shooting 30% at the basket in this series.
Yeah.
And who else? AJ Green, I like.
AJ Green's been killing it. Man. Bird.
Derry Bird, a.k.a. the Wisconsin Matt Thomas. It just hits different.
Matt Thomas already from Wisconsin or is he from Iowa?
Yeah, my bad. It just hits different when a white boy hits a 3 in Wisconsin, man.
You know what? Honestly, that's tradition right there. That's Steve Novak heritage right there.
Yeah, but it's looking tough, and I was trying to think of destinations for Giannis. I think it'll be interesting this summer because I almost feel like the KD sweepstakes will go first. Like a team's going to land KD, and then the rest of the teams are going to have to fight for Giannis because Giannis is the bigger prize here.
Giannis
given
is
his
definitely
age,
the bigger prize, yeah.
all of this stuff. So, like, does Houston want to get in on Giannis, or do they want to go for KD? I almost feel like KD's a better fit for them, but also it's
Houston
Giannis.
Needs shooting. I mean, they also need Giannis. Like every team needs Giannis.
Yeah,
like, I'm not
sure. But if you're paying a lesser price for KD, maybe that's the better move for them.
Sure.
I'm thinking like if OKC doesn't win the championship, can OKC get into these conversations? Because they certainly have the pieces to make it happen if they want to, right? Because the Bucks will just want draft picks and young players, and that's literally what OKC can offer.
Yeah, OKC's like, listen, we can give you half our war chest, and
OKC will literally give
like 6 extra picks.
They could give up like 7 picks, right? They can give up all the picks they want.
Yeah.
And then pick a couple young players. I don't even know what's the best player they would need to get rid of for Milwaukee to make the move.
Here's Jalen Williams and Isaiah Hartenstein.
Maybe they can accidentally just throw in the Asian Jalen Williams by accident.
They're like, whoops.
They're like, yo, you want Aura?
Oh, they're like,
you want buckets? You want buckets or Aura, man? You pick.
Yo, last second they switch it up will be incredible.
Brooklyn's been mentioned a lot.
Yeah, I don't. Do you
Yeah.
understand why Brooklyn's been mentioned a lot for Giannis?
I think like it's a whole like he wants to go to New York, but like the Knicks don't really make sense as a trade partner because they don't have.
Why
any
don't the
pieces.
Knicks make sense as a trade partner?
Well, what can the Knicks offer? Because the Knicks, I don't think the Knicks have picks to offer because they gave it all to Brooklyn.
Yo, the funniest thing is if they just didn't make this Mikal Bridges trade, which by the way, Bridges was incredible in the fourth quarter. Like he was.
Yeah,
huge.
but they still shouldn't have made that trade. I don't care.
Yeah, that's
Come
fair.
on, man. Come on. Yeah.
They could have kept their powder dry for
Yeah.
Giannis.
The Brooklyn
because-
thing, I don't mind because I almost feel like if you look at it, if they get Giannis, depending on who they give up, it's not like a terrible team over there. Like there is talent there, right?
Is there
Like, it's-
talent there? Wait,
it's
hold
better
on,
than-
hold on.
It's better
Is
than
there
Milwaukee.
talent
It's better than Milwaukee.
I mean, as much as we could clown on, Ryan frickin' Rollins or whoever, it's like, who did they have? Wait, hold on. Have
Nah,
you seen
pull up
Brooklyn's
the
roster?
Nets roster, man.
You just did this. We did this like 2
No,
weeks
but
ago when you were
I'm just saying Brooklyn's not the worst situation. I feel like people clown that scenario all the time. Like I don't think it's that bad.
hold on, man. Let me
No,
look at
I
the
don't-
Brooklyn Nets, man.
I don't
Who's
think
he
it's
going to play with?
He's gonna go
D'Angelo
play
Russell?
with fucking Cam frickin' Johnson, bro.
No,
Yeah.
Cam Johnson might be. Oh, you know what? They need to keep Cam Johnson.
He gonna play with fucking Cam frickin' Thomas, bro.
Cam Johnson, Cam Thomas,
Yeah.
Jalen Wilson, D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe you're right. Yeah. Never mind.
I mean,
I just
one of
heard
their centers,
D'Angelo Russell,
Nick
yeah.
Claxton.
Okay, never mind. No. I take it all back.
I
No,
just
no
feel like-
Giannis to Brooklyn. Yeah.
I feel like if Giannis is gonna go anywhere, I feel like Giannis should like really just like focus on what's the best championship situation for himself.
Yeah, well, the best championship, I think, will obviously be OKC. We've heard Golden State mentioned before, too, but I think after they made the Jimmy move, I don't know if they're going to be able to maneuver a Giannis move.
Yeah, I don't know how Golden State manages to pivot themselves into all these stars. Like,
Yeah.
enough is enough, man.
OKC and Houston, I would say, are the top teams if you're looking at championship aspirations. Can Miami get in there? I don't know what assets
Oh my
Miami.
god! By the way, I was thinking the other day because I
Why
was
don't
watching.
why don't they ship Giannis and Dame to Miami? Man?
I was watching the Heat game, and over the course of the game where they're losing to the Cavs, and they lost to the Cavs by like 30 plus or whatever, without Garland, by the way. And I'm watching that game, and I'm like, man, Nikola Jovic sucks. Like, this is one of my thoughts. Was just like Jovic sucks, and then in garbage time, because again, like this game was a complete blowout. In absolute garbage time, they brought in Jaime Jaquez Jr., who has not been in the rotation at all for them basically this season. And when he has been, he hasn't really worked. And I'm just like, this used to be the Dame package, man.
Yeah. No, the Miami, the Bucks might have. I mean, Portland lucked out on not taking that Dame package.
I mean, Portland, I totally understand because that Dame package wasn't that good. But I also think back to it, especially now that Dame might be pretty much like done his prime. Like, let's be real. You just did your Achilles. You're a small guard. You're going to come back, and who knows what team you're even going to be on because Milwaukee's going to be different, and he might be traded. But I look at that Dame situation, and I'm like, wait, so Dame did all that for Portland, and then when he wanted a trade, they were like, just kidding. Well, we won't respect your demands, and we'll trade you to Milwaukee
Yeah,
instead.
and you couldn't have. I mean, the
Like,
Giannis,
that's tough. That's just like, I understand, like, it's your job to get the best return for your best players. But it's also like a guy you've had in your organization for like 10 plus years. Did everything possible for you in that time. Obviously, it wasn't good enough to bring you a championship, but Dame was great in Portland. And then they just like didn't respect his wishes on the way out. Like that's nasty to see, man.
yeah, and a huge.
And it wasn't even like a Kawhi trade. Like at least DeMar could look back and be like, "Well, I guess they won the championship." You know what I mean? Like,
No, you're right. You're right. Like, shouts to Bill. It's a huge sliding doors moment because Dame goes to Miami, and maybe Jimmy stays there on an extension.
sure.
And that's a different type of run, So, yeah, but it sucks because like the Giannis Dame thing never seemed like it really clicked. I mean, they'll forever get to celebrate their in-season tournament championship.
Oh yeah, sure.
They got the NBA Cup to hang their hat on, but they never got to really play together in the playoffs as well. These 2 seasons,
Yep.
like he came back for a couple games here, and of course got hurt. Yeah, it's tough. Like by the time he comes back, he'll be like what 35, 36. And this is all hindsight, but it's like it would have been cooler if he just stayed in Portland.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was good of him to go pursue a championship, but it's like this was like worst case scenario. These 2 seasons in Milwaukee were really tough.
Dame's lasting legacy in Milwaukee is that he kept beefing with Tyrese Halliburton and he lost both beefs.
Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, and he
Like-
just came back from his blood clot
Yeah.
issue as well. And he strained his Achilles last year, right?
He
And
strained
now-
his Achilles almost a year to the day, also in the series against Indiana.
Man, it's dark for Milwaukee, but at the same time, if I'm a Bucks fan, it's like, you got your one championship with Giannis, and it is hard to win a championship.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
So I think it would be much darker if they didn't come out of this without a championship. But yeah, I assume Giannis is going to want to move on, but like you mentioned at the top, he is a super loyal dude where I can still see this extending, like him just like giving them a year or something to try to like rebuild this thing, whatever.
What are you going to rebuild? The last time they tried to rebuild,
Bradley Beal, baby.
They turned Chris Middleton into Kyle Kuzma. If you watch that game, by the way, in the third quarter, so like the Bucks were down like I think like 12 or something at halftime, and I was like, okay, maybe they make a push, you know what I mean? Just make it competitive. It was the last game of the night, whatever. And that third quarter, Kyle Kuzma had 3 separate times where he was trying to score right at the basket.
Yeah.
Got blocked or missed the layup 3 different times, and each time Indiana went the other way and scored a 2 or a 3. So that was like a personal, like it was like a 4 or 5 point swing each time he bricked the layup. I was like,
no, my
you're
shooting
single-handedly responsible for your team being down 20 now. Like,
no, my guy's shooting 30% at the basket, man. In the series.
It's outrageous. I have to ask you the obligatory question.
Oh, I'm ready for this. Yeah.
Should the Toronto Raptors trade for Giannis Antetokounmpo this summer? It is 2025. We've asked this question at least 4 or 5 different times over the course of recent history. But Alex Wong, should the Toronto Raptors trade for Giannis, and if so, what should they give up?
Yeah, 100%. I think the Raptors should be ready to give up whatever the Bucks want. Like if they want all the draft picks, I feel like those should be on the table. If Scottie is the centerpiece of a trade for Giannis, I think the Raptors should seriously consider that. They've pivoted now into this win now mode by acquiring Brandon Ingram. The rebuild that they wanted to start this year appears to be over. They want to move on to the next phase. Giannis still has a lot of good years left. He's got the relationship with Masai, like 100%. If Giannis is interested in coming here, they have to pursue it.
So my thinking is a lot of this has to do with the lottery. Because if the Raptors all of a sudden have the first overall pick, that would be an actual question. Like, would you actually trade Cooper Flag for Giannis? That would be a really, really hard debate.
I would think I would. Yeah, I guess not.
You have to think about number one.
Number one, you definitely have to think about because like that's pivoting your franchise maybe for the next decade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but if you got number 2, number 3, or number 4, if you move up in the lottery but not win number 1, you get 2, 3, or 4. If you put that in a trade, and let's say you put Scottie in this trade, right?
Sure.
That actually does become very competitive as compared to most of the other trade packages.
I think so too. Yeah, I think the Raptors,
like you're in the discussions at least.
I think so, and I think Giannis. I don't think we should look past the fact that there's this relationship with Masai. Like I don't think that's the deal breaker here.
Sure,
but it's gonna depend if Giannis wants to come here, right? Because like all of these superstar trades is gonna be dictated by whether the star wants to move to a certain place. And I think, like you mentioned before with how Portland did Dame, I think Milwaukee's going to work pretty closely with Giannis to make sure he lands in the right place, but also gets a good deal, right?
My counterpoint to that is Giannis's co-star, another beloved Milwaukee Buck for their championship run, Chris Middleton, is now a Washington Wizard.
Yeah, but that's Chris Middleton, though. There's a different level. There's a different level of Chris Middleton.
I'm just
saying
there is not a history of the Bucks being like, oh, okay, we'll respect your wishes.
I also think the Bucks are going to get enough good offers here that they're going to be able to have a win-win situation here. Like Giannis is going to get to go to a good place, and the Bucks will get what they want. Like there's going to be a pretty heavy bidding war here. Dark horse, maybe the Clippers as well. Yeah.
Oh, the Clippers. What are they trading again?
I don't know. I saw Clippers Twitter float around a package of Zubac, Norm, Bogdanovich, and
Come
4
on,
picks.
Okay, where do they even have these 4 picks, man? I thought they owed all their picks for Paul George.
I think they're just gonna make them up. But no, for Toronto, I think they do make sense as a trade partner, and they do have the pieces. And I agree with you. If they move up in this lottery, I think it's going to change a lot. And Masai and Bobby should consider all of their options if Giannis is available.
And the thing is, the Raptors, even though they've committed to a rebuild, they have kept their options open. Like it wasn't that long ago when Dame was like available and before he ended up in Milwaukee, like reports were that the Raptors actually were sniffing around on Dame. And even last year, when we think back to this season, it's like, yeah, should the Raptors really go for Brandon Ingram? And then boom, they're like, the price is good, we'll go for it. The thing is, there is not going to be like a low price for Giannis no matter what. Giannis is still very much in his prime. Giannis is putting up 30-point triple-doubles, like no problem, still an MVP level candidate. And I do think that any trade, if the Raptors were to try to get Giannis, would have to start with Scottie as the headliner and then probably this year's pick.
Yeah, but I feel
and then you build your package on from there. Is there another piece that you need to throw in there? Maybe throw in one of your shooting guards. The thing is, does it make sense for the Raptors roster as is to add Giannis, and how good is that roster? Because like you have Brandon Ingram, which is like a nice piece to put around Giannis. But like, are IQ and RJ the right pieces to put around Giannis? Is Jakob Poeltl, who is not a spacing center, is he the right piece to have around Giannis? Because he's had the luxury of playing around Brook Lopez. As good as Jakob Poeltl is, he doesn't space the floor in that same way, and he would crowd up the paint. So that, to me, would be like the question is like, is this the right time? I suppose.
I feel like it's never about whether it's the right time if you have a guy like Giannis available. Like, you figure out the fits on the roster later, and you hope that, if you get Giannis for the long term, that you have a window where you can figure all those questions out. My other big thing with the Raptors,
by the way, he does have 2 years guaranteed under contract,
right? Which is gonna make
after this current season that we're in. So.
Yeah, his trade value is gonna be crazy if he's available this summer, just because of like how many years are left.
Yeah.
The Raptors will always do these trades based on their own, how they value the players, and they never like want to lose deals or put too much in. So knowing them, they'll probably try to skirt around trading Scottie and try to offer all these other pieces.
Scottie and Giannis work as a combination. Don't they kind of take up similar
I mean,
spaces?
if they can give up other pieces
Like,
and
I mean,
not give up
100%.
Scottie, I'm happy with that. I'm happy to find out about those things
IQ,
later.
RJ plus picks. Like I
Yeah.
would rather do that deal than give up Scottie, of
Yeah.
course. But I just don't see how Milwaukee, like if Milwaukee ends up not accepting, like if Milwaukee accepts a deal with Toronto and they don't walk away with at least Scottie and our first round pick this year,
Yeah.
John Horst should be fired again. Like
No, but
like,
the thing is, like,
hire him and fire him again.
it's kind of funny because you can pitch them like, yo, RJ would be your best young prospect. Like, if we trade you RJ.
Oh my goodness.
No, but RJ would legit be their like top prospect. Like, he would be their one blue chip guy. Is all I'm saying, man. Get Horse on the phone and get Nico on there too, man. Somehow we'll just slip and get Lively in a 3-way deal.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that this is likely to happen. I know the Raptors have been in on Giannis many times in the past. They even like carefully shaped their books for 1 year to like hopefully try to get Giannis. Like, I think they like made Fred's deal like ascend and then descend in the same deal. Whatever.
Oh yeah, that's
like,
a Bobby Webster special. Yeah, cap specialist.
Yeah. Shouts to BW, but like, I don't know, man. I think that this is probably not the right opportunity to trade for Giannis for Toronto. I think that like Raptors are very focused on building some of their own right now. And I'm not saying that they're like irrelevant to all these trade talks, because I feel like they should have a conversation. They should absolutely have a meeting, right? But at the same time, I just don't feel like this is the right chance to go all in. The East is really weak, though. I got to say, the East is really weak. And Masai himself did say that, like, no one knows who's going to win the championship this year. There's a lot of parity in the league. And when there's a lot of parity, that usually means there's a lot of movement, because a lot of people see opportunity in that parity.
Yeah, the Raptors aren't good enough to say no to Giannis. Like, they gotta win this. They gotta get in on this, man. It's like, you're getting a guy that's averaging like what, 30, 10, and 5, like 30,
Easily.
15, and 5, like every playoff game.
He's also an incredible professional. Like, he works hard as hell.
Fuck. The games at Scotiabank are gonna be like 3 hours with the way he shoots free throws, but like that's a good trade-off.
I'm cool with that, man.
They're gonna make Herbie count to 10. Together. He's gonna count to 10 in every language for him.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I mean, wow, career-wise, if we got to cover Giannis, you know what? Career-wise, I will say yes. Yeah, go ahead and make that deal.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. That's your first topic. What's next here?
Let's get to item number 2 from 10 takeaways from this weekend. I was watching the series, and my thought was, is Indiana the most slept-on team in the league? And the reason I say this is because I think there's plenty of hype for pretty much every other team that you would expect to go through to round 2, right? Like, And if not hype, they'll get a lot of respect for getting to round 2. But like, there's plenty of hype for New York. There's plenty of hype for Cleveland. There's plenty of hype for Boston. OKC's already through. We'll see. Minnesota looks like they're going to beat the Lakers. They're up 3-1. Et cetera, et cetera. And obviously, whoever survives the war between the Clippers and the Nuggets, and the Warriors and the Rockets. But I just feel like there's something about Indiana that they don't get taken care seriously. And maybe it's because they've been playing these banged up teams in the playoffs. Like last year, they had the exact same scenario with Milwaukee where the Bucks were banged up and they beat them. I think this year they're taking care of them in a way that is much different from last year. Like they're just packing the Bucks up. The Bucks have no chance. But I also look at Indiana as a team that has a definitive style. They play super fast. In these playoffs, we've seen such physicality, define the series. We're seeing a lot of games where the scores are in the 90s and things like that. Indiana has the second best offense in the playoffs right now, second only to Miami's opponent in Cleveland, and that's for me a lot to do with just Miami's just sucks. Like they're a 37 win team in the playoffs. But Indiana's offense is sustainable. Everybody's clicking on all cylinders. Everyone's healthy. And their style gives people problems. Like I think we look back to last year, like when they played Boston, they had the lead in the fourth quarter in 3 of their 4 games. So I feel like, I don't know. I don't know. Like Indiana's just kind of slept on for me. I don't really know how good they are, but I think they're probably much better than most people are giving them credit for.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think there's a hesitancy on giving the Pacers that credit, maybe like you mentioned, because of their style of play. And I think a lot of times people write them off as
the
if
style
that's
of
like
play
not sustainable.
is what's good.
Yeah,
There's nothing not sustainable about the way they play. They play fast. They move the ball beautifully. Halliburton really does set up an environment where everyone can flourish. Like I've never seen Miles Turner look this good, man.
Yeah, and they have so many guys like Obi Toppin's hooping for them. Like Aaron Nesmith is really good for them. Shouts to our guy, friend of the program, Andrew Nemhart.
Oh man, Nemby.
Nemby is killing it. Nembanyama is killing it. Pascal's been having a great series, but
yes.
I think the same thing like you mentioned too, like with them last year, maybe getting a little bit of luck with injuries to like the Knicks team and the Bucks team. Like you said, they got the second best offense next to the Cavs. Like part of that is because Milwaukee sucks too, Like
Milwaukee does suck.
Milwaukee's defense is terrible. They couldn't get a single stop yesterday.
Yeah, no,
at all. But no, I'm with you about the Pacers, and I think it'll be really interesting to see the likely matchup, the Pacers Cavs in the second round.
Yeah,
like I think that will be a good measuring stick.
Like, is it a guarantee for you that the Cavs win that one?
I mean, I'd probably pick the Cavs, but I feel like that would be a long series. Like you mentioned, like the way the Pacers play, it's hard to say that you can just beat them like 4 straight games or 4 out of 5.
Yeah.
And I think they have a lot of offensive firepower that the Cavs have to figure out. So I think it'll be a really good test for Cleveland. I wouldn't
Both
count
teams,
the
by
Pacers
the way,
out.
dominate with depth. Like that's the thing when I'm watching the Cavs. It's like, okay, Ty Jerome would be like neck and neck with Tyler Hero in terms of who's the best offensive guard on Miami.
Well, I think that's the best thing
crazy.
that's the best thing about the Pacers. Like you kind of know what you're gonna get from like Halliburton and Pascal and maybe Turner too. But it's
even
like
Turner's pretty good. Like,
and but they've got guys that step up for them like every night.
Yeah,
like even TJ McConnell. He comes in and gives them good minutes too. So I'm with you. The Pacers are a little bit slept on, but I think they're not gonna get taken seriously unless they get past the Cavs in that second round.
Okay. I'm just saying, like, just watch out for the Pacers because they're playing a style that it really stands out. Like, again, because, like, there's so much physicality in these playoffs. Like, these teams get bogged down. It's a lot of half court. Indiana, I mean, whether they're playing half court, they're pretty good at half court, but they just manage to force you to play transition because of how fast they play.
Yeah.
So I've been really enjoying Indiana, man. I feel like they should earn a little bit more respect on.
Yeah, 2 quick shout outs in the series. And then we can move on. Shouts to Gary with his 37 points in Game 3.
Do you know what he had the next game?
Oh, trust me. I know. Gary's the guy who'll average 20, but he'll give you 37 and then a 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's Gary.
That is Gary. Yeah.
And shouts to Benedict Mathurin. He was like talking trash to someone courtside in Game 3, and then the TV cameras panned, and it was Thanasis in street clothes. Because Mathurin was at the free throw line and yelling at somebody courtside.
Yeah.
And the announcers are like, man, Matherin's getting into it with the fans. And then they pan and it's Thanasis. This man had to buy a ticket.
My question is, what are the other Antetokounmpo brothers doing?
Oh, like Alex and Costas.
Do you feel like they're a little jealous? Like,
Yo, knowing their names is insane, man.
yo, why you got their ancestry.com,
Yo, that's insane. Yeah, no, that's true though. But shouts to Thanasis. They finally couldn't get a roster spot from this year because he was hurt.
Oh wow, I mean,
Yeah, so nepotism is over. Yeah.
but is he just around the team? Like, did they just hire him to be like?
Yeah,
a
he was sitting
consultant or
courtside with
whatever?
some of the owners and stuff. Like,
Yo,
so
that's
he was there.
crazy. I love
Yeah,
that,
and
man.
he's barking at Matherin. Like, what are you doing, man?
Well, Matherman is a premium shit talker.
I
Like,
know, but
he
you're-
loves to go at people.
But
Yeah.
you're Thanasis Antetokounmpo, man.
It's
Your
in the
team's
name.
third best player is AJ Green, man. Like, you think the Pacers need more fuel? Like, what are
Yeah,
you doing?
No, the Pacers are just killing this team, man. I feel so. I feel really bad for Milwaukee in general, but honestly, with or without Dame, they would have got washed like this. I'm sorry, like they just. I'm just saying the Pacers, they're dangerous, man. They're dangerous. Okay, let's go to point number 3. Lakers, Minnesota has been incredible. Last night we saw another incredible battle, and of course, I feel like the Lakers played close to their very best. Like I'm. It's not like anybody when I look up and down the roster was like underperforming or anything like that. Like LeBron ends up playing 46 minutes at his big age, goes up 27 points, 12 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 steals, 3 blocks. The block by James, call by Mike Breen in the fourth quarter, just gave me chills, of course. Luka
Chills.
Doncic.
It's the fourth game of the first round.
Oh, okay. Now somebody doesn't like game 4s. But
You can't compare that to the other one. Come
okay,
on.
fine, but it's still cool to hear blocked by James.
Yeah.
Luka Doncic goes for 38 points. Austin Reeves with 17. Rui Hachimura with 23. Shouts to Rui, and yeah, I mean that's as close as the Lakers can go in terms of like what they got, and yet they still lost to Minnesota Timberwolves because Anthony Edwards with 43 points to lead the T-Wolves over the Lakers. My question to you is, are we sure Ant isn't the best player in this series?
Well, Ant has been the best player in this series so far.
Okay.
LeBron's had his moments.
Yes.
And I think for the level of expectations we put on LeBron, he's obviously at a different part of his career now. Still coming up with big moments when they need,
Yeah.
but he's been a sidekick, right? Like the offense
sure.
has been running through Luka. Luka, the only game you can really quibble with is game 3 because he was sick, but he was terrible in game 3, the first game in Minnesota.
Luka's been a phenomenal offensively, especially
Yes.
as a scorer.
Well, the thing is, like you
But,
said, like
yeah.
he was great. He put up 38 yesterday.
38.
Yeah, but how many is he giving up on the other end? You know,
Probably
So,
38.
Yeah, so this is my thing. I'm not saying Nico was right to tear down the Mavs, but Luka's defense is a thing in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like he was
Yeah.
crushing Jaden McDaniels. Jaden McDaniels was crushing him in game 3.
I was gonna say Jaden McDaniels never looked that good at scoring until this series, man.
Yeah, but you gotta give credit to Ant though. Like we can talk
yeah.
about the Lakers issues, but Ant's been amazing and been really impressed with his just playmaking and figuring out the defense and all of this stuff. And like his teammates have stepped up, man. I think we're gonna talk about Julius Randle later, but like I've never seen Julius Randle play as hard as he did yesterday.
Oh man.
Just both ends of the floor.
What's his nickname again?
What is his nickname?
Big JU.
Oh yeah! Oh my God, man! Please no. And then DiVincenzo, Nas Reed is like 9 for 9 in the fourth quarter in this series.
Nas Reed is 9 for 9, including 6 of 6 from 3. That's ridiculous.
Here's the thing. Like the whole concept, I think, with the Lakers in the playoffs is the game's gonna slow down. You get close. You have 2 closers, right? Like you have Luka, you have LeBron. That should be their advantage. But they've lost every fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Like I think it's 103-69 aggregate
Yep.
for the Wolves in the fourth quarter. So it just and JJ Redick, like, you know, they start Jackson Hayes, but he plays like 2 minutes. Like he didn't even play yesterday.
Yo,
in
he getting the Jody Meeks minutes.
Yeah. So yesterday they went with Finney Smith and the starters to start the second half, and JJ ends up playing them for the entire second half.
Yes.
Which hasn't been done, I think, or it's been done only once, like since the play-by-play era, which I guess started in '97. But speaks to the lack of depth. Like, my guy Seven hasn't panned out. Gabe Vincent.
Ooh, 7. He's too
Seven's
small for the series, man.
He 007, man. He's putting up double O's right now.
Oh.
So he 007
he
now.
aged 007. It's
Yeah,
fire.
he 007. So, but that speaks to just the lack of depth on this Lakers roster and just how desperate JJ was. Like, I know they have 2 days off, so he was being strategic about it, trying to run them down the stretch. But, like, if you're playing just 5 guys and a 40-year-old LeBron for the whole second half, just to even the series against this team in the first round, like, I think it says a lot about the Lakers. This is the one series that I would have changed my pick after game 1.
Yeah.
Like, after watching the way the Wolves, just, like, more guys, more athletic, like, they just look quicker. Like, the Lakers are in deep trouble, man. I don't think they're not coming back from this.
Well, there was a moment where Julius was given the fourth quarter interview. Like they interview the players sometimes coming into the fourth
those are
quarter.
so funny to me.
And they interviewed
Also,
Julius.
he didn't speak into the mic. Couldn't even hear him.
Well, he interviewed Julius, and Julius was like, "Yeah, we got to stop LeBron. He's got 27 points on 7 shots." I was crying.
Oh, yeah.
They gave LeBron so many free throws in that first half, man.
Yeah, LeBron has 0 points in the fourth.
What? 0 free throws, I guess.
Yeah, and body language doctor, I'm sensing some tension between Luka and LeBron, so I'm gonna keep an eye on that. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, like, the key point, as you mentioned, is the Lakers' whole strategy is our stars going to be better than your stars. That's the only way the Lakers are going to win at a high level is if their stars just thoroughly outperform the other team's stars, which is a good bet when you have Luka and LeBron. But this is why I think this is so interesting, because when I watch the series, I'm like, neither of you guys aren't the best player on the court. That's Anthony Edwards.
Yeah. No,
and I know that Ant is not perfect, and his career is nowhere near the level of accomplishment of either of those two guys. But I'm just talking about here and now. I'm just talking about who's going to win Game 5 and Game 6 and Game 7 if necessary. Ant has performed better than Luka and LeBron. And it's really eye-opening because if Ant is able to overcome this series, we're talking about a player who would have eliminated KD, would have eliminated Devin Booker, would have eliminated Nikola Jokic, and then now would have added LeBron and Luka to the resume. Like, it's eye-opening what he's doing. He is not afraid. He is superhuman because there was that play towards the end of the first half where there was a loose ball and LeBron dives and rolls over Anthony Edwards' ankle and leg. For a moment, it looked like, oh my God, like this could just be the game to this could have changed the whole course of not just the series but the playoffs. And then Ant just like pops up and he's like, I'm good. And then he plays he dominates the second half. He's not afraid of any of these guys, which I think is a real thing. When the playoffs and the moments and all the tension builds to a certain point, like you do wonder if guys are going to slip and have any doubt. There's nobody in the world more confident than Anthony Edwards. And then the ability, I mean, offensively it's there, but defensively too. That's the thing. Like Luka, as much as he can give you more points offensively, and he is more talented offensively than Ant, but as a two-way player in this series, Ant has played better. And LeBron doesn't have the offensive. He just doesn't have the energy to match what Ant does. This has been such a crazy coming out party that I'm just like, is there anybody that's more in the lead for who's the face of the league going forward?
Yeah.
Because again, if you defeat the current stars and the past stars, like the only guy he hasn't beat is like Steph Curry, which he has a chance to do next series potentially against the Warriors. This guy would have eliminated KD, Devin Booker, Nikola Jokic, LeBron, and Luka. That's a crazy 5 to get, in your bag, basically.
No, I mean, everybody's got Wemby pegged to be like the face of the league. But in terms of like being like, the top guy, especially American player and all this stuff, and one of the faces of the league, I think Ant's already there. Like, and I think just getting this playoff run is going to be huge for him. And I just love his confidence too. Like, he's always talking trash, even when his team is down. So there's no like front runner mentality with him. And he's always quick to, like, I think he just really empowers his teammates too. Like, even like post game or like in the pressers, he's always just shouting out other guys and stuff. And you don't get that a lot.
Infamously, he said, yeah, they got Kevin Durant, but we got Jaden McDaniels.
Yeah. And honestly, Jaden McDaniels is such an interesting player to me on that team because, like, if he can ever just become like a consistent scorer, like, man, Like I don't even know what his ceiling could be. But
Well,
maybe
he's
it's
gotta
just
play Luka more often.
yeah, maybe it's just because of Luka. Because God, man,
No.
Nico had some points, man. Yeah.
No. Let's okay. Look, Luka's is the only reason why the Lakers haven't been swept. Let's be
Yeah.
serious on
I
that
mean,
part,
all jokes aside, like you don't make that Luka trade, but like his defense and also the constant complaining to the refs. And there's times where he just blows up possessions because he doesn't get back or he's just complaining. Like you see that stuff, and we've seen that stuff.
Sometimes he's back and he still doesn't
Yeah,
contest.
there was
It's
like a possession
weird.
yesterday where he was just laying on the ground and just letting the Wolves score while he was waiting for a call.
Right.
I could tell LeBron wasn't too happy, man. I'm just saying, man.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I just feel like I don't know. Like there's just something there with this whole situation that just doesn't necessarily feel right. I think the Luka thing is interesting because look, Minnesota is an incredible defensive team, right? They have the length, the athleticism, and then they switch as well, which even Rudy Gobert has actually done okay on switches against Luka and especially on LeBron. But the thing that's interesting about the switching is it reminds me a little bit of what Boston did to the Mavericks with Luka last year in the finals. When you switch and you force Luka to be the scorer, obviously Luka can score. It's like no doubt Luka can score, but it's how he scores. Because like if you're scoring mostly by shooting over the top of these guys and you're hitting crazy threes, you got to live with that. There's nothing you can do with that, right? But the thing is, when they're switching, Luka is not beating his man enough of the time where he's at the basket and they force you to rotate. Like you're not going to give up open layups. And that's why Luka only has averaged 5 assists in this series against 4.5 turnovers. So his assist to turnover is like basically 1. Last night, in terms of, look at the scoring is great, 38 points, 1 rebound for Luka last night, and 2 assists, 4 turnovers. And it's like this sort of strategy where they're switching and then he's not able to actually get past his man does change a lot for them. And so it's like the catch and shoots all of a sudden are harder for Brewery and for Austin Reeves and for Dorian Finney-Smith. And honestly, credit to the Lakers. They actually hit the threes well last night. Like they shot 19 of 47 for 40%. This is why it was concerning when I was watching the game yesterday. I was like, LeBron played at his peak, at least based on what he has right now. The guys around them shot the ball as well as they could. JJ played only his 5 good players, and they still lost. And that's the part where it's just like, if I'm a Laker fan, I'm kind of devastated, man. Like I expected more out of this run from them than what we've seen so far. But again, the takeaway is Ant is playing better than any of these guys, man.
Yeah, Lakers are in trouble. And Austin Reeves, so I know he bounced back with a nice second half, but like he hasn't been great through the duration of this series too, from what people are expecting from him.
You know, if you get Austin Reeves 0 free throws, all of a sudden he just becomes Austin Reeves. So,
Man.
Oh,
What up, bro?
yeah. No, just everything you're talking about there. I didn't necessarily expect it to go like as well as it has for Ant and the team, but like this is exactly why I bet on them to like win this series because I'm just like I feel like Ant might just be that motherfucker that like takes
dude, he's
teams
not
out.
afraid of anybody, man.
Yeah, so
Like what he
anyway.
did last night, I mean, it's not the same as when LeBron beat the Pistons. You
Sure.
remember when he was coming up, LeBron, and he had the legendary 25 straight points. And that Cavs team in 07 was not better than the Detroit Pistons were at that time, but they just had the one player who was like unstoppable in the series. And that was like not LeBron's coming out party because LeBron was already like the number 1 pick, like the biggest sensation in basketball at that time already. But like that was like the first stamp on LeBron's like career was like, look what he did, 25 straight points. And hasn't had a moment that high. But again, if he wins the series, that's going to be the impression because people did not pick Minnesota to win the series outside of Jerome.
No, because whole ESPN picked the Lakers.
Oh, did they really?
I went with you, Will, to do the Joe Cash's show on the score. I had the Lakers in the finals.
Oh,
Did you? It's a little bit of like a disbelief in like that the Lakers would actually like work right away. Like LeBron is way older than I expected him to be. Luka's like the defense stuff is a real issue. It's like what exposed him in the finals last year. And
Nico,
I don't know, and kind of
Nico,
like
you have a point, baby.
oh my God. Ham FC, baby. Put those
Nico.
hands in those pockets.
yeah.
Nico, man.
And yeah, like I think I made a crack about it, but I don't know if that's really in play. But you know, Luka eliminated Ant last year, and I feel like if this series happened maybe in the second round or the conference finals, it'd be a different situation.
Sure.
But yeah, something about that it being a first round, Ant being who he is, Minnesota kind of being in a good spot early on in the playoffs and maybe later on, I was just like, they might catch the Lakers.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love people saying too that like, oh man, imagine if the Lakers had Mark Williams. Get the fuck out of here. Get out of here, man.
No, but
Mark Williams. I've never seen Mark Williams influence one playoff game.
I think that would have been his first
Yeah,
playoff
I
game.
know,
Actually.
but it's like, get out of here, man. Also, I want to shout out Chris Finch too, man. Finchy got a little aura, man. I like
Finch
Finch.
got aura for sure.
Chris Finch
man.
got aura, man. He's ahead of Asian Jalen Williams for me right now.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow.
Good.
Yeah, Chris
we
Finch
might
got
we might have to build the all aura squad.
Yeah,
for,
Chris
for you
Finch.
in the
Chris
future.
Finch, man. Why did we let him go, man? Damn.
Oh yeah, he was a Raptors assistant for that half
Yeah, he
year.
left right when the pandemic broke out amongst the team in Tampa.
He's like, nah, I'm
he
good.
he saw Malachi Flynn coughing, and he's like, I'm out, man.
By the way, so for people who don't know the history there, Chris Finch coached in the British Basketball League for quite a
Yeah.
long time.
BBL.
And it was him. It was literally him and Nick Nurse in the BBL finals every year.
They must have been so annoying.
No, I'm just saying. It was Nick Nurse versus Chris Finch in the BBL finals every single year. I think it was like the London Towers and like the Manchester Giants or something like that. But like
BBL Drizzy.
BBL Nicky.
BBL Nicky.
BBL Nicky versus
Finchy.
BBL Finchy was crazy back then. But the thing is, like, yeah, I mean, when I guess Nick got the head coaching job and then he had the opening on this assistant staff, like, it had to be mad humbling for him to come on, like, for Chris Finch to just join Nick on the assistant coaching staff.
No, you're right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's that's like if like what would be in the NBA? That's like if like
No, this is
Pat
Darko
Riley
offering.
had to-
This is Darko offering Taylor Jenkins an assistant job.
yeah, kind of. Yeah, that's kind of the same vibe it would have
Yeah.
been. But happy for Chris Finch. The next one, takeaway number 4, also related to this series, but one of the cool redemption arcs that I'm following this year's playoffs is Julius Randle. I mean, remember when we were previewing the playoffs, my most interesting player for this series is actually Julius Randle because
Oh yeah. Big
Julius
Jew.
Randle, Big Jew's playoff stats were just not strong at all coming into this. I'm just going to remind people, Julius Randle had shot 34% in the playoffs previous to this one against the Lakers. He had shot 34% in 3 playoff series with New York. He was 1-2 in those series. Right now, Julius Randle is averaging 22.5 points per game on 48% shooting from the field and 46% from threes. Also getting to the free throw line a ton, which he always does. He's basically matched the same production as LeBron.
Yeah,
which is
that's incredible.
Kind of incredible. And I think the other thing too is just, I guess part of my skepticism with Minnesota in this series was just like, okay, it's going to be Ant, but who's going to support Ant? Turns out Ant has plenty of help. Julius Randle has translated what he did in the regular season over to the playoffs for the first time in his career. Naz Reid's been playing great. You know, Jaden McDaniels has been playing great. And I guess, especially if you think back on it, I guess Minnesota obviously made one of the most surprising moves of the summer when they traded Karl Anthony Towns to the Knicks, and that trade for most of the year looked like it was a big win for the Knicks because Cat was an all-star. Cat's been playing great, by the way. Cat's been, you know, like if you watch that end of that Pistons game, aside from that ref, you know, mistake at the end, I mean, Karl Anthony Towns was hitting like daggers down the stretch. So they petting that cat over there, man. In New York, that bodega cat is looking good. The issue is
Worst nickname ever.
the issue is people aren't looking at the other aspect, which was I think Minnesota actually walked out of that trade pretty well. It's pretty good as well because all of a sudden they actually have an 8-man rotation now. Because
Yeah, I mean,
they can
Dante's been good for them.
Dante's good too.
Yeah, and
So
I'm
that trade
I'm
might have
happy.
been a win-win. Honestly,
I'm happy for Julius, man. I think, you know, he didn't get to be a part of the playoff run last year with the Knicks because he was hurt, and you know, he's like you mentioned, he's been terrible just as a postseason player. And yeah, just really impressed with these guys who eventually like figure it out. And I think aside from like shot selection and stuff, it's always been a question about just like Randall being like a two-way player and like just him giving the effort in this series, man. This guy's diving for loose balls.
Yeah, he's fighting. Man.
Just like playing this like I think this whole Minnesota team is playing great right now. And Julius is locked in as well. So yeah, I think for them to get to the second round and maybe even beyond, like this trade is going to be a win for them. Because this trade was always about like getting off the money.
It was
of
financial
Cat,
trade.
and then you maybe try to pivot long term. Like who knows if Randall's going to be with the Wolves even like beyond this year.
Okay,
But
yeah.
for them to be able to bounce back, play so well coming into the playoffs, and now being up 3-1, and for Randall to be a huge part of it, like yeah, you're right. Like the trade couldn't have worked any better for them, like short term right now.
Yeah. I think I just like the redemption stories. You know what I mean? Like, I think I want to see. I don't want to see people just defined as like playoff chokers. I feel like that's like the worst label to get.
Yeah, except for Evan Mobley if he chokes next round.
Unfortunately, Evan Mobley looking pretty good too, man. He's low-key outplaying Bam Adebayo.
No one's watching.
No one is watching. Thank God no one's watching. But
yeah,
I think that one's been interesting for me. By the way, Tobias Harris is my redemption arc in the Eastern
okay.
Conference.
Yeah. So would you rather have be Tobias Harris or Chris Paul? By the way, I'm building that case. I will present it at some point in the playoffs.
By the way, nobody left a comment about like nobody gave their feedback.
Was it crickets?
It was crickets or Chris Paul or Tobias Harris. Who would you rather be? Who would you rather swap lives with?
Would you rather be Dante DiVincenzo or Quentin Post?
No one's asked that question, man.
Okay, you got Tobias Harris. I like that. I'm gonna put Michael Porter Jr. in there too. Huge game 4 because his shoulder was hurting. I guess it's his left shoulder, but he's a right-handed shooter, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can see all the tape on it and stuff. I know. I'm sure it's bothering him, but like huge game 4 from him when it was thought of that he might not even play.
Yeah.
And he's been such a like polarizing player on that team,
for sure,
given his contract and all that. Anyone else that's been redeeming themselves? I guess those are the big ones.
James Harden, low-key having a redemption series. James Harden's been playing great, man.
Yeah, they better win though. Yeah, there's no redemption in getting knocked out in round 1.
We'll talk about that series in a second. But first, we want to get to the next one here. And this is actually, we've been joking about making a blame pie. But it just sounds so bad saying that. But we're going to make our first blame pie. This would be like, you know how TNT does like the Gone Fishing series?
Right.
Like a team gets eliminated for a season.
Yeah.
I want to do the same thing, but for the blame pie. And so, obviously, we're stealing another idea from the Bill Simmons podcast, which me and Alex are diehard fans of. Alex more so than me, but let's be real. We both love the pie. One of the things, that Bill likes to do is, I guess, dish out blame for a certain situation. And he will call it a blame pie. So we've decided to sort of like turn that into a actual chart, an actual pie chart. Okay. And so we'll do a blame pie for the Grizzlies getting swept in round 1. They are the first team that has been officially eliminated from these playoffs. And here we go. We're going to make a blame pie for people listening to, on the audio experience. You won't be able to see this, but maybe we'll publish this later on down the line. And so we'll start here.
Yeah, guys, you're missing out on a spreadsheet, guys.
You're missing out on us looking at a spreadsheet right now.
Shouts to Jerome taking over the duties of handling like a chart or a pie because we've seen your pies. Yeah.
We've seen. Yeah, that was not good, man.
By the way, north of Brooklyn, anybody if they want to sponsor this, come on, come on.
The blame pie segment presented by North of Brooklyn.
Come on, let's make this happen. Okay, blame pie for the Grizzlies getting swept.
Okay, I'm gonna put the first name on the board. Alex, why you're gonna tell me?
Okay, so we're gonna do. Let's put all the names up. Let's put all the people in, and then we'll assign the percentage.
This is not the way Jerome intended it. So, and he has gotten this.
I swear, Jerome said we put all the names down first. He's nodding. See?
Did he say that?
Yeah,
okay, yeah. All right, fine. All right, let's go. Put in Ja Morant. Put in Desmond Bane.
Yep.
Put in Jaren Jackson Jr.
Man, you ain't got
Thomas Isalo.
Yep.
The spelling is in in our rundown if you want to look for it.
Yeah.
But that's TUOMASIISALO. Zach Kleiman.
Yep, Zach Kleiman. Yeah, not to be confused with Rich Kleiman. KD's guy.
They might be doing fine,
Yep.
Yeah. And then of course you also have Lou Dort, which I gotta throw in here as well because let's be real, Lou Dort did get a lot of blame for what happened to Ja. So we'll give Jerome a second to input those 6 names, and then Alex, I got
more names. I got more names.
Oh, okay. We got more names. Well, you got to put Zach Edey in there. What are you gonna put Zach?
We got to distribute. So who do we have? Yeah. So just we got Thomas in there. We got Ja, Desmond, Bane. We're putting in Lou Dort too, right?
Yeah, Lou Dort.
Okay, I got Tim Chung.
No.
Let's put Tim Chung on there.
Leave him alone.
CCYAA.
No, my God.
We're putting Zach Edey in there.
Oh wow, we're putting the whole CCYA organization.
And then we're putting the just OKC Thunder as a whole. Yeah.
Okay, just OKC.
So yeah. But we'll keep Lou Dort as a separate. Yeah.
Don't forget Zach Kleiman there. And
Zach Kleiman, the
number
general
6.
manager.
Ooh,
So here's what we
building this
got.
pie right now.
So I'll start with you, Will. Ja Morant, make your case for Ja being on this blame pie and the percentage.
I'm gonna let you decide the percentage. You'll be
Okay.
the judge in this
Okay,
situation.
fine,
I'll
fine,
just present the case.
Fine.
Ja Morant, obviously he gets injured. The Grizzlies, if they had any chance in the series, needed Ja to be a superstar, and they did have a huge lead in the first half, led by 29 points in the first half. Unfortunately, Ja gets clipped by Lou Dort and misses the remainder of the 2 games. He presents this very viral moment where he's putting his hand to the camera and they just pivoted to a different camera, which I thought was actually kind of incredible. But in any case, Ja Morant, I think the case here is just he's had a quietly not great season just in general. I think that when you look at Ja, like it just never really took that like superstar leap that you really wanted to see from him. This year, he averaged 45% shooting from the field. Still not a good 3-point shooter at all. 31% from 3. His career is also 31%. This year, he's actually slightly below percentage-wise from 3. And of course, the Ja gun celebrations didn't really help. Doesn't help that every time Memphis makes the news, it's Ja Morant doing something related to weaponry. So that's the case for Ja. I mean, I'm a little sympathetic to Ja in this instance, but Alex Wong, what would you give Ja Morant for his blame in Memphis getting swept in round 1?
Listen, I think if you're the face of the franchise, you have these expectations. You got to carry a bit of that burden. So I'm gonna go 30% on this.
Wow. Okay.
Do you feel like were you surprised? Is that high for you?
It's a little high because
Okay.
I just feel like, because he was injured for the last 2 games, but also at the same time, Ja, I don't know, there's just something about Ja where I'm like, you don't look that serious. Like he was asked in the season-ending press conference, he was asked like basically the whole OKC series, and he said, "quote I had them figured out."
Oh yeah, he said it would have been 2-2 if he wasn't hurt. You can't
Come on, dog.
You can't say that when you haven't beaten a team with a winning record since January.
Okay.
Like you can't say that. So
You know what?
I think he has to take a brunt of it, like 30%.
Okay, 30%. That's fair. Next one. Desmond Bane, downhill Des. I'm going to read you his stats for the series. Averaged 15 points per game in this series on 32% shooting. Shot just 22% from 3. In all the moments where, especially with Ja out for the second half of Game 3, again, they had a 25-point lead at halftime and also led by 29 in that first half. In that whole entire second half, they just needed somebody to, do anything offensively. Basically be your number 2 option, which he's supposed to be. Gives you 15 points per game, shot 22% from 3. Was not really a factor defensively as well. That's not really what he does. But Desmond Bane, what share of the blame pie are you giving Desmond Bane?
Bane's like the third guy in this quote unquote big 3. So
He's the third guy? Well,
yeah.
I mean, first off, I wouldn't use big to describe this.
Yeah, he's a part of the mid 3. So
This is a mid 3, man. This is the most mid 3.
I'm gonna give him 8.76%. Yeah.
8.76. Okay. I feel like you're letting Dez off the hook just a little bit because he did shoot 3 of 14 in the game 3, which again, that's the game you need somebody to step up scoring wise. But
yeah, that's fair. But we got to save some room for Tim Chung. So
okay, all right.
Yeah,
we got to explain to people who Tim Chung is. Next up on the list, Jaren Jackson Jr. Let me give you Jaren Jackson Jr.'s stats in this series. Averaged 16 points on 38% shooting, which I think is incredibly impressive as a big. You just don't see bigs averaging 38% shooting. Let me remind you that he was getting guarded by a guard for the majority of this series. Alex Caruso was the one primarily on Jaren Jackson Jr. This man also got outplayed by Marvin Bagley in game 1 where OKC won by 51 points. He was also unable to come up with any offense whatsoever when the Grizzlies needed a second option super badly. And then I'm going to throw a surprise pop quiz at you because Jaren Jackson Jr. infamously is not a good rebounder, but especially on the defensive rebounds because he actually was okay on the offensive rebounds. So I'm just gonna give you a player, and then I'm gonna give you Jaren Jackson Jr. And I guess I want you to tell me if they had more or less defensive rebounds in this series than Jaren Jackson Jr. All right?
Okay.
Desmond Bane, more or less defensive rebounds than Jaren Jackson Jr.
More.
Desmond Bane had 5.5 defensive rebounds in this series. He was tied was Santi Aldama at 5.5, which means Santi Aldama also had more defensive rebounds in this series than Jaren Jackson. Zach Edey, do you think he got more defensive boards than Triple J?
More.
Yeah, he did. 5 a game for Zach. Scottie Pippen Jr., the backup point guard turned main point guard when Ja was out. Did he get more defensive rebounds than Jaren Jackson Jr.?
I'm going to say more.
He did. 4.5 a game. Luke Kennard.
The Nard dog?
Luke Kennard,
Nardwar?
who comes off the bench.
Yeah.
Did he get more defensive rebounds?
I'm going to say more, even though I've never seen him jump. Yeah.
Luke Kennard got 3 defensive rebounds per game in this series, which is more than Jaren Jackson's 2.8.
God damn, man. So he fouls too much, doesn't play a lot of minutes, and doesn't rebound.
And he plays with bullshit offense. Like, he just throws up bad shots.
Now, I don't think Jaren Jackson's going to make All-NBA. I think we're pretty sure in saying that. But if he did, he'd be eligible for a 5-year, $345 million extension this summer.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
That would instantly be the worst contract
I'm gonna
in the
hit Jaren Jackson Jr. with a 21.83%.
league. Okay. 21.83.
0.83%. Yeah, I think he has to take. I think the whole premise of the Grizzlies was based on Ja and Jaren Jackson Jr. And if you go back like 3 years until now, can you say they've gotten better?
I'm just saying, if I had to do this myself, I'd probably give Jaren Jackson like 50% of this pie.
Okay.
Just based on the games I watched in these 4 games, Jaren Jackson deserves at least half of this pie. But
yeah.
We'll move on. This is your blame pie. Next one, Thomas Isalo, the interim head coach of the Grizzlies, took over obviously with less than a month left to go in the season. Tried to make the best of it. I think the Grizzlies, the whole discussion this season was, do they run enough ball screens?
Oh yeah, well that was you and Samson Folk and Caitlin Cooper.
Yeah, we were wondering, did they run enough ball screens? Ultimately, ball screens wasn't the issue with this team.
Yeah.
But anyways, Thomas Salo was also asked recently on season-ending press conference day if he wants to be the permanent head coach for the Grizzlies, and his quote was, quote, "Yes, why not?" End quote.
Wow. Ringing endorsement for the Grizzlies' job. Yeah. In terms of blame pie, I'm only going to give Thomas 2.44%.
Okay.
I don't think he was put in a tough situation, have to take over towards the end of the season. The roster construction was not his fault. I think the only blame I would put to him was maybe just the whatever miscommunication happened that led to the 5-second violation in the play-in tournament when they were playing the Warriors. Cost me and Ennis Esmer a little bit of money there. So so I would say 2.44%. Like the interim coach coming in at the end got put in a tough position.
I mean, he's an interim coach. What's he supposed to do?
Yeah. Yeah. So
But do you think he actually will remain as the head coach?
That's a good question. I mean, if they're trying to win, I would say maybe they were trying to hire someone more experienced. I've been hearing a lot of Jeff Van Gundy buzz of him getting another head coaching job. So.
Jeff Van Gundy will be. I feel like this team is in dire need of some toughness.
Yeah, so maybe a little JVG,
Okay, all right. Well, when your answer to whether you want to keep your job is yes, why not? It's very funny to me, but maybe that was lost in translation. It is second. Is this a second language after all? Zach Kleiman, the general manager of the Memphis Grizzlies.
Read me his crimes.
I mean, he's actually a pretty good GM. I feel like they always discover like random players that like, like no one was talking up Santi Aldama.
Sure.
Like
5-second violation.
Vince Williams Jr., who I think actually got pushed by Jaren Jackson. Like Jaren Jackson was trying to bring the huddle together. And Vince Williams is like, "No, fuck out of here. I'm not trying to listen to you. Go get a rebound." But he does a decent job of filling out the roster. I feel like the trade that he made this year, well, it was actually really more about the trade he couldn't make, because if you think back to the trade deadline, there was a lot of buzz of the Memphis Grizzlies wanting to get Jimmy Butler.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but Jimmy didn't want to go there too, right?
Jimmy did not want to go there. But I do feel like as the GM, especially considering the fact that like it wasn't like Miami was like, okay, we'll send Jimmy to wherever you want to go, Jimmy. You know what I mean? Like it's still just a trade at the end of the day. He ultimately couldn't get that pushed over the line. You know what I mean? Like, for example, Kawhi wasn't saying, I want to go to Toronto. but like Masai and Bobby
He
got that shit
definitely
done.
was not saying that.
But that's what I'm saying. So I feel like he couldn't get the Jimmy Butler trade done. That I feel like really would have changed a lot for this team.
Marcus Smart trade was a whiff.
Well, I guess he dumped Marcus Smart basically because of the fact that they wanted financial flexibility for the
Yeah,
summer.
but bringing in Smart never worked out for them.
Bringing in Smart definitely did not work. And honestly, if any team misses Dylan Brooks, it's this team. So Zach Kleiman, the general manager, who may have to be faced with the decision of paying Jaren Jackson Jr. $300 million this offseason. What share of the blame pie you're giving him?
I'm gonna give him 13.51%.
Okay.
Yeah,
Very precise.
I think the the roster construction and just like you mentioned, his failure to really make like the one impact move. But yes, you got to give him credit for bringing guys like Santi Aldama to commit the 5-second violation, and John Conchar to miss the corner three, and then not running back in game 3. So great jobs. But like no, all seriousness, like Scottie Pippen Jr. was amazing for them.
Yes,
like
he was great.
guys like that.
They found, yep.
Yeah, so guys like that. So 13.51. Before you move on to Lou Dort, Jerome, could you also add the Vancouver Grizzlies jerseys at the bottom as well? Yeah, so they should get blamed as well for wearing the Grizzlies jerseys.
Oh yeah, you know what?
Lou Dort.
Lou Dort.
So this is the he hurt jaw.
Yeah, this is a he hurt jaw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Lou Dort hurting jaw. You know what? It wasn't a dirty play, so I'm giving Lou Dort 1.11% because the Grizzlies should have won that game with or without Ja. You're up 29 at home. There's no excuse. You're telling me Ja's really worth 29 points in like 30 minutes of play? I don't believe that. I don't believe that. So Lou Dort, innocent.
Canadian bias. Lou Dort getting 1.11.
Oh yeah, next Canadian, Tim.
Next
Chung.
Canadian on the stand, Tim Chung.
Oh, I guess I should explain this.
I don't understand. Yeah, let's flip it. Now I'm deciding now. The rest
Tim
of these.
Chung famously spotted talking to Nico Harrison.
That's all he did was
Well,
talk.
it's you don't it's bad vibes. Like the bad vibes rubbed off.
Oh,
And I
okay.
feel like it set the Grizzlies on a course to be swept. Also, Tim Chung is a highly regarded and respected executive in the NBA, and
Absolutely.
with the Grizzlies, he's 0-4 in the playoffs. So
Oh my god.
the numbers, no, like we're a fact-based show. And unfortunately, we love Tim, but
Yeah.
that's the record they're gonna flash on screen next time they see him speaking to Nico. So
Is this just like your ploy to get some more free merch from Memphis?
listen, I've begged for Utah Watanabe jerseys when he was there. I've begged for whatever the Japanese guy's name is this year.
Yuki?
That's right, Yuki. I've begged for Zach Edey. It hasn't worked out. So Tim Chung, I'm publicly turning on you. I'm giving you 1.12%. You take more blame than Lou Dort. Yeah.
Tim, I gotta tell you, I'm giving you 0%. All right.
Yeah.
But
CCYAA, famous, Chinese Canadian nonprofit organization that we've worked with, Boba Raptors,
Yes,
Simulu, Jeremy
of
Lin, Celeb Game. I think they always work with Zach Edey as well. I think maybe some of Zach Edey's obligations from last summer might have caught up
to
to
Edey. Why are
Edey.
we burning every bridge
to
in this
Edey
city?
in the playoffs. So, out of fairness to Tim Chung, I think CCYA deserves 1.13%. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and this leads to Edey. Some of the blame will go to his offseason obligations,
Dude,
but
he was a rookie, man.
Zach Edey famously commits the offensive foul on the jump ball in Game
Against Lou
3.
Dort.
Yeah, which was crushing.
Yeah.
But we love Zach, so we're gonna give that 1.09. Yeah.
1.09. Okay.
Yeah.
I was
So
gonna say,
how
why
much
was
for-
Zach Edey on this list anyway?
What okay, so we don't have a lot of percentages left, right?
We
have about
only
18?
have roughly 19%.
Okay,
percentage
so
points left,
so
yeah.
let's give the full 19% to the OKC Thunder. You got to blame the Thunder a little because they embarrassed the hell out of the Grizzlies. Like if the Grizzlies don't lose that first game by like 50, the conversation maybe is a little different
I don't
about
know,
the
man.
Grizzlies.
What about that damning stat where the Grizzlies hadn't beaten a team over
Yeah,
500
yeah,
in the West
but
since
I
like
think-
January?
But I think getting blown out by 50 to like open the playoffs is pretty like That's like a turning point. Like that's when you start talking about the future and stuff, right?
Oh yeah.
Like
That's when you start building blame pies.
Yeah, no, but like if the Grizzlies were competitive for all 4 games,
Right.
I think you still have the same conversations, but it's like, come on, man, you come into the playoffs, you drop it by 50, like that's right there. So I got to give the Thunder some credit here into the blame pie because like they did embarrass the hell out of the Grizzlies for most of this series.
All right.
And then finally, wearing the Grizzlies jersey gets a 0.01%.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was historically accurate. Like this is what it would have looked like if the Grizzlies ever made the playoffs out in Vancouver.
Yeah. So top 3 blame goes to Ja Morant at 30%, Jaren Jackson Jr. at 21.83, and Zach Kleiman, the GM, at 13.51.
Well, I mean, there's also OKC at 19%.
Oh yeah,
honestly,
OKC
I feel like that is.
Oh yeah, OKC at 19. Yeah, that's fair.
Those are the top 4 options. My only quibble with this is I'd actually swap Ja and Jaren's percentages, or even combine them for Jaren. I was just
so you want to put
impressed.
more blame on Jaren Jackson?
Yeah, but it's too much to sort of. No, let's not do this.
Yeah.
Just Jerome, can you please title this Memphis Grizzlies blame pie? And save the image, please.
Yeah, and tag CCYA.
Do not.
Tag Tim Chung.
Do not tag them, man.
Tag Mitchell and Ness for the Vancouver Grizzlies.
Now, can you also
jersey.
put data labels on these, please, Jerome? And
Can we talk about this after?
I think we can move on to the next point while I work on this in the background.
Next point.
Fair enough. But thanks everyone for tuning in for the first blame pie. I feel like that was actually quite fun of a segment.
All right, can't wait to do 16 of these.
Oh man, we're gonna be filling up with pies, man. Yeah.
Hopefully we get a sponsor by the 3rd round. Come on.
You know what? It could just be like regular pies too. You know what I mean? Like, what about meat pies, man?
Yeah, Wanda.
Yeah.
What's that?
What about-
Wanda pie in the sky in Kensington.
Yeah. There's like, oh man, what is that one? There's one in Etobicoke that's pretty good.
Oh yeah. If you run a pie shop, hit us up, man. Free sponsorship. We'll do it for free, man.
I don't know about free, but
Oh, okay, Mr. Capitalist. Go vote for
I-
Marxist Leninists, man.
not me.
All right, what's next?
Next
what point
one.
are we on? Number 5.
I mean, it doesn't even matter. But next point. Speaking of the Grizzlies, would you want Bane, Ja, or Jaren Jackson Jr. from the Grizzlies? Because I could see at least one of them going this offseason. To be clear, by looking into this, it seems like the GM is on record saying he's not going to move Ja, and I do believe him. For a small market team like the Grizzlies, Ja is like a huge draw, and so I just can't see them ever moving on from Ja. Bane and Jaren Jackson, though, potentially gettable, especially if Jaren Jackson, the extension talks this summer don't go as expected. And quite frankly, how can you really give him a huge raise after what we just saw here in the playoffs? Alex Wong, real quick, do you want any of these guys?
Desmond Bane, I'd be interested in if he was available. Not Ja or Jaren Jackson
Really?
Jr. Ja, I think the perfect Ja trade, Ja Morant to Atlanta for Trae Young.
Oh, my God, man. Stop pushing this your problem for my
Yo,
problem.
yeah, I love those trades.
It's so stupid, man.
Yo, come on, man.
The trade that solves nothing, man.
Yeah, but it's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be really fun. Yeah, it would ultimately be fun in theory, and then ultimately change.
How much is
something for other
Desmond
teams.
Bane making though? I don't know his contract.
Downhill Des, I believe he's making like 40 a year. And I feel like, I mean,
Downhill Des. Where's he
sorry,
gonna
that's
go?
one of his nicknames, man.
Whistler.
You're making him sound like a skier. It's crazy.
By the way, Tim Chung's official title is Basketball Logistics and Operations of the
There you
Memphis
go.
Grizzlies.
And he's
So
one of the best in the business, man.
keeping an eye on you, Tim. 0-4.
Stop, man. Leave
0-4
Tim alone.
Chung. Yeah.
With Desmond, I mean, clearly a very good player. But is this what the Raptors really need?
Nah, you know what? To be honest with you, I don't
He's
want
making
any of
40
these
a year.
guys. I was
He's
just
making
trying to
40 a
build,
year for the.
I was just trying to build a segment for you. I don't really
Okay.
want these guys.
Honestly, as much as I shit on Jaren Jackson, I feel like in theory he would actually fit well
No,
on the
stop
Raps.
doing this, man. You can't do this. You can't.
I can't wait to
hate-
build a blame pie for him in my city, man.
No, but you can't hate on a guy and then at the end of the segment turn on that.
Yo, what am I doing?
That's
I'm
insane.
lowering his value so that it's easier for us to trade.
Yo,
for.
that's insane, man. No, so no to the mid 3.
Yeah, I mean, again, this guy got out rebounded by Luke Kennard.
Got out rebounded by Scottie Pippen's son, bro.
Honestly, if you put Scottie Pippen in the game right now, he gets you more than 3 defensive rebounds.
I'll take
promise you.
Scottie Pippen Jr., man. Holy.
Hey, listen, Scottie Pippen Jr. is nice. He's nice, man. He's gonna get a nice little payday this year around.
All right. What's next?
What'd you do this one? Jaren Jackson Jr. for Jakob and RJ?
Hell no, man. That's 2 good players, man, for 1 mid player. No, that's too much.
Jaren Jackson did have a good year outside of the playoffs.
Now you're pro Triple J. I don't get it, man. You can't do this.
I'm switching up.
No, that's insane, man. No, this is insane.
This is the fastest switch up.
Yo, this guy wants to trade our starting center and starting small forward for a guy who grabs 2 rebounds a game. What are we doing, man?
Scotty can board those, man. It's fine.
Oh, my God. All right, no more Grizzlies talk.
I'm just saying, a spacing 5, you know what I mean? A spacing 5.
No more Grizzlies talk, please. Next.
Yeah. I'm just saying, you'll never get a better price on Jaren Jackson Jr. than right now.
I swear to God, what's next?
I sound like his agent right now, man. Oh, those are the... What is this, man? That's not a blame pine. That's a blame pineapple, man.
Yeah, that looks like a really delicious pineapple. That's where 75% of it has gone bad.
Jerome, please revert to the previous format of this. Thank you.
Why is a green pineapple would be crazy?
Yeah, I'm sure
That's
exists
ripe.
somewhere.
All right, please, what's next? Yeah.
Actually, for the record, I don't think the Raptors should trade for any of these guys. But, Jaren Jackson, at least on theory, could work, despite all his limitations. Next one, this is probably the best playoff series outside of the Lakers and Minnesota, and honestly would really rival it. But it is 2-2 currently between Denver and the LA Clippers. And my question to you, Alex Wong, is who has more to lose in this series? Only 3 games left.
I would say the Clippers because it's very rare that you're going to have things line up. And by line up, I mean just Kawhi being healthy for a playoff run. And I think they've been waiting so many years for this. The last time they made the conference finals, Kawhi was injured, and they weren't able to have a full-strength squad against Phoenix. Denver's won a championship as recently as 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. So for me, it's the Clippers. For me, it's like I know OKC's waiting for them in the next round, but I think the Clippers have more to lose, and especially after 4 games, this series could be over if it wasn't for a Russell Westbrook 3 and an Aaron Gordon buzzer beater. And I think if you look at the first 4 games, I think you'll still agree with me. I still think the Clippers are the better team. Like
they should win the
still
series.
think. I mean, full credit to Denver. I mean, they played really well for most of that game 4 until the fourth quarter comeback. But in the aggregate, shouts to Moneyball. Like the Clippers are still the better team to me. And on Betway, actually, they're favored tomorrow in Game 5 on the road. They're minus.
Wait, what?
Well, yeah, so Clippers on the road are favored.
I just realized I need to build that board.
It's all good, man. Minus 1.5. Clippers are favored on the road at Denver, 1.90 odd. So even the sharps are saying that the Clippers are still the better team. Do you think the Clippers can go into Denver? Can go into Denver and take Game 5?
I think the Clippers should win this series, but a lot of things that should be happening are not really working in favor of the Clippers.
Yeah, why is it 2-2 right now instead of 3-1 or even a sweep? I need this explained to me.
The Clippers are fully healthy. Mm-hmm. They made all the trades. They made all their moves. James Harden's playing really well. Kawhi's healthy. He's playing well, obviously. They have the head coach, versus an interim head coach and everything like that. And I don't know. I still walk away like, why aren't they just taking care of business? Like, this series would haunt me so much as a Clipper fan if they went on to lose it. Denver does have home court advantage the rest of the way, which is pretty important when it comes to, every other game kind of situation. But there is just something which bothers me, which is just like, as much as I do believe in the Clippers overall as a team, Denver having the best player in the series by a mile in Nikola Jokic. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm gonna back Denver here.
Yeah,
I'm gonna back Denver.
I'm gonna go with the Clippers. Make sure you hit the QR code below and check out all your basketball betting needs on Betway. But it is interesting. Yeah, it is interesting to me because I feel like some of it does just come down to like Jokic is just ridiculous. And like once they get all the shot making that they got in Game 4, but you're right. Like the Clippers felt underwhelming to me until that comeback in like Game 4. Like I just kept waiting for them to kind of put the game away, make a run, and they just couldn't do it. And then of course they make that little push, that big push at the end. And yeah, I don't know.
The one thing you could say about the Clippers is historically they never do what they're supposed to do.
I know. Being a Clippers fan is tough. I go through it once a week every year. Man.
This guy just wants you just adopt the Clippers every year. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Because again, like every rational part of me, I picked the Clippers in 5 in this series.
Yeah, no, the series should not be 2-2.
Business. Yeah, they shouldn't have lost that game.
They should have won both in Denver.
They should have won both in Denver. They should not have lost Game 4, and yet they did.
No,
you know what I mean? Like
you're coming off a 34-point win at home, clearly the better team.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't have the right response.
Jamal Murray wasn't playing well in Game 4.
Yeah,
Michael Porter Jr.'s shoulder is like he's like looks like barbecue ribs. Like you know. What I mean?
But
like,
shouts
just falling
to
off the bone. Like
shouts to Christian Brown, shouts to Michael Porter Jr. Those guys stepped up, man.
Yeah,
those guys stepped up in Game 4, and DeAndre Jordan, what's a polar bear doing backing into it?
Oh man,
DeAndre Jordan minutes in 2025.
Yo, Blake, you got Chris Paul being 40. You got Blake Griffin doing broadcasts, and then you got DeAndre Jordan on a contender.
Yo,
What's
DeAndre
happening?
Jordan extending his NBA career by 10 years because he's a great friend is amazing. That's a testament to being a good dude, man. Yeah. Remember when they went to Brooklyn and KD and Kyrie are like, yo, we're a package deal. You need to give DeAndre a contract too.
Yo, they pushed up Jared Allen for that.
I know Josiah shouted some slurs, man.
In Cantonese. In Cantonese.
Yeah, in Cantonese, yeah. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like, it is so frustrating.
The DLLM.
Oh my god, it's so frustrating because like now the Nuggets have home court. Although I really don't think home court matters that much in this series.
Really?
I really don't think. I can see both teams just like winning on the road, but I don't know. Do they need Kawhi to like step it up even more? He's been pretty good already.
Yep.
Like I don't know I don't know. Like I can't explain it, man.
I just feel like the Clippers, if they were a serious team, they needed to win Game 4.
Well,
I can even accept losing game 2 or Game 1, but they needed to win Game 4.
Well, it stresses me out for my agenda because like you would hope they would have wrapped this series up in 5 because OKC's resting.
Yep.
Just spending a whole week like chilling with Nick Gallo, whatever they're doing.
Nick Gallo is crazy, man. Nick Gallo agenda's nuts.
But like now they're gonna be in a fight at least 6 games, and OKC's just waiting, so that's not gonna be good for the long term.
No. By the way, this is a game where the Nuggets won where they got 4 total points off their bench. DeAndre Jordan actually had one of those 2 points.
Oh, I saw him make that free throw.
It was a dunk, I'm pretty sure, or like a layup. Peyton Watson had 2 points as well. That's the entirety of their bench scoring.
Yeah.
The Nuggets extended their starters like crazy. 43 for Aaron Gordon, 42 for Michael Porter Jr. on one shoulder, 43 for Jokic, 42 for Jamal, 43 for Christian Brown. Most of those guys didn't play well, but they still won the game. That's why to me I was so disappointed in them watching that game, man.
That's why, like, if you're like glass half full, you're still like the Clippers still have the advantage now that it's a best of 3. Like they still have the deeper team, but it's like the margin of error keeps shrinking, and they got Jokic. And I'd be scared as hell to get into a Game 6, Game 7 elimination game with Jokic, man.
Yeah, and then you got Chris Dunn going 1 for 9 from the field. Yo, 1
man,
for 9
Chris,
is a crazy stat line.
Damn, man, Chris Dunn's so frustrating as a Day 7 Clipper fan. Like he's wide open, and for a reason, obviously. But this man cannot shoot, man. Holy.
He's more open than I've seen anybody
I have not been more frustrated by a 3-point shooter since like Eddie House or something. I'm just like, this guy cannot make a single shot, man. That's why they got to put Batum out there or something, man. Like it's,
hey, man.
But Dunn's so good on defense too, though. Like,
but here's Toom, 1 for 6.
Fucking Batum letting me down with these damn no dippity threes.
Yeah, that's tough. Maybe you should dip a little bit on those threes. Anyways,
fuck the Clippers.
This
but
is
I'm
an incredible series. I'm waiting on every single night to watch this game.
This is my number 1 series, man. It's not even close.
Yeah, number 1 son. All right, next one. Probably, I guess this is my 3rd favorite series so far, but it's still really good. The Warriors were able to overcome the Houston Rockets in Game 3. This is without Jimmy Butler, who sat out that game. By the way, Jimmy Butler just head to toe in that aloe gear, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he sponsored all the way up, man.
He aloe, he aloe and welcome, man. Yeah.
Yo, maybe we gotta get a sponsorship.
Yo, we need to get a bag from Aloe.
Oh no, the inside jokes.
Yo,
we'll tell them on the show one day.
Yo, catch me at Yorkville, man. Holy.
No, honestly, if you wore an aloe fit in Yorkdale, you would look like everybody else in Yorkdale.
I'm not gonna lie. Like Jimmy might have made Aloe more famous than a Aloe fitness guru can, because like ever since. I think they're just like workout clothes. It's like workout clothes, and like like he started wearing that in Miami when they were making their finals run a couple of years ago.
Sure. Yeah.
And then ever since then, like every time I'm on Blur, everyone's wearing Aloe. Yeah. Yeah,
okay.
So like he might be a trendsetter there. Yeah,
he really did make the Aloe hat more famous than the Aloe game.
he got a bag for Aloe, man. No Jimmy, and Warriors. Surprised they won, but they took care of it, man.
My question to you is: so Steph Curry had 36 points to lead the Warriors to victory. My question to you is: how is Steph Curry still doing this, man?
Yeah, I mean, I almost feel like the two guys, LeBron and Steph, is like warping expectations for guys that are like 35 plus or older.
Sure.
Like we're almost supposed to expect this now from like superstars going to this late age, and I almost feel like it's not fair because LeBron and Steph are outliers in this case. Hello, Wong.
Yo, the sponsorship's right there. We could do it, man.
Oh man, what about Uniqlo, Wong? No. Steph's been amazing. My biggest question is, how are the Warriors doing this, man? Because their roster sucks without Steph. Like,
yo, the Warriors roster is crazy.
When Jimmy's out, you're like, holy crap! Like, that's a lot of Quinton Posts. That's a lot of Gary Payton. That's a lot of Buddy Hield. Like, I almost blame Pi gotta shift this to the Rockets because the Rockets, man, like Fred is still shooting tour dates. Jalen Green.
14.
Now, Jalen Green, another player that'll average 40 but give you 37 and then 3 points the next game.
Yep. 9.
Yeah, outside of Şengün, there's just no consistent guys on that roster.
Even Şengün only had 15.
Their whole strategy is Steven Adams versus 100 gorillas. It's like 100 Steven Adams versus 1 gorilla.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask you about that later on too.
Yeah, no, but that's their offensive strategy, and the Rockets are a bad offensive team because like in this age, like we just saw like a 29-point comeback by OKC. We saw the Clippers come all the way back from 20 plus over the weekend. When the Rockets are down 7, it's over. Like, you know what I mean? Like
it's the 1990s with the
Rockets.
Yeah.
When it's a 7-point lead in the fourth, it's a real 7-point lead.
Put the bench in, man. It's over. Get out the salami and cheese, mama. This ball game is over.
But this is how their offense sucks. Because when they're down 7, you're like, holy shit, how are they gonna get 7 points? Like it's over. Like it's over. Bring in Kevin Knox. It's over, bro. So I don't even know like what the Rockets can do. This to me felt like when the Raptors in the finals, when Clay was out in Game 3, and then you go on the road and you're like, oh shit, we have to get this one.
Yeah.
And that's what it felt like for the Rockets. Like you have to get this one without Jimmy.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and now Jimmy's back tonight. I think he's expected back. Wow. So yeah, it's not looking good. It's not looking good for the Rockets.
While I was watching this game, it was crazy because it's like the Warriors are trying every single possible pick and roll combination for Steph. Because like as much as Steph can, be great, he still is a guy who needs to screen. He's a guy who needs to play off ball. Like there's a lot of coordination that needs to go into it. And then Steph will obviously do the bulk of the work. You know what I mean? The Warriors ultimately settled on Gary Payton II is Steph Curry's best pick and roll partner. And I'm like, this is wild, man. Like Gary Payton is the same height, if not even shorter than Steph. And this man is finding ways to roll to the basket. He's finding ways to pop open for 3. He's like somehow eluding all of, because like the whole Houston Rockets defense is just like a picture of Steph Curry and the words "get him." You know what I mean? It's just 6 guys running at Steph Curry, including Ime Udoka, and somehow Gary Payton is making it work as a role man. So I salute to Gary Payton, obviously Raptors 905 legend, Gary Payton II. But it just makes Steph more impressive because I'm like, what great player is cooking with Gary Payton II, man?
Yeah, well,
Like,
even
no other player in the league could. Like even Jokic can't be like, yo, Gary, I'm riding with you, Gary Payton.
Yeah,
At least he got Jamal. At least he got like Aaron Gordon. You know what I mean? Like he's riding the war with Gary Payton II, and he scored 38 points, and he also got Gary Payton 16 points. Like
yeah, no full
Steph,
credit,
man.
full credit to Steph, man, and he's had to put up with Draymond for like 18 years too. That can't be easy.
That's
But
his guy though. Come on, man.
yeah, like, I know they had a great record with Jimmy down the stretch, but I gotta say, not that impressed with this Warriors roster or team.
No,
like
the Warriors
outside of
record
Steph.
sucks. No, it's like a
So-
lot of Brandon Pajemski needs to make shots.
Yeah,
there's a lot of Buddy
yeah.
Hield. Buddy Hield stresses me out, man. 'Cause
Yeah,
I'm rooting for the
there's-
Warriors in this series.
It's a tough
He-
roster, man.
Like he played well objectively. Like he had 17 points. He had 5-11 from three. Like they needed all the scoring they can get.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also like, bro, this guy will just make some of the most inexplicable decisions. Like Jimmy Butler's always like yelling at him, "Stop dribbling!" Like your teammate is actively telling you to stop dribbling. It's crazy, man.
Yeah,
And then Kuminga's just not doing anything in this series.
nah, Kuminga's cooked.
Quentin
man.
Post is just shooting threes. I mean, he can rebound the ball, but that's it.
Yeah. By the
He's-
way,
he's
it's
missing.
confirmed from Shams that Dame has a torn Achilles.
Man, I feel
Yeah,
bad for Dame.
torn left Achilles tendon. So get well
Yeah.
soon, Dame.
Get well soon, Dame, man. That's a top 75 player right there.
Yeah, shouts to Shams throwing out the first pitch at the Chicago Cubs game yesterday.
I mean,
Yeah,
It
we gotta
was-
make this
it-
happen for Hello, man.
you know what?
Hello at a Jays game. If they're 30 games under 500 by July, it might happen. Yeah.
Do you think?
Shouts to Ali Khan.
Can I get some tickets this weekend? Actually, I would love to go to see the Jays.
Damn, man, they're not even opening the dome yet.
That's okay. Do you think you can actually throw a strike?
No, hell no. Yeah,
Really?
probably bounced in. Yeah.
I don't understand how all these people are throwing it everywhere.
Well, because it's
like-
a pretty far distance. Like if you've never like actually thrown like a major league pitch, like it's not easy, man.
Really? huh?
Plus the nerves.
Well, I mean, the nerves I understand, but
Yeah.
like, again, like it just doesn't seem that hard to hit.
Yeah. I've never stood on like a major league mound, but just
Sure.
like seeing the angles, like it looks like it's really hard because you're like
Okay.
you're like on a steep hill as well, and you're like throwing downwards.
No, but like for the celebrity pitch, or like this, like the first ceremonial pitch, like they don't put you on the mound; they put you like off the mound.
Oh yeah. Because some guys step. I think Stephen A was like on the mound and then he bounced it in.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand how all these people are throwing it like every single like direction. Like the Shams pitch, like if Aaron Judge was at the plate, he would have threw it at Aaron Judge's head.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like that.
Maybe it's not easy being a major league pitcher, man. Not everyone can do it.
I'm not saying I'm gonna get up there and be Randy Johnson, but like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like I feel like you at least throw like a 60-mile-per-hour fastball, like
Yeah.
somewhere roughly around the plate, man.
No, we got to get Enes Esmer at first pitch, man. I feel like
yeah,
Enes is ready for. He's got the stature, he's got the clout. Like
Yeah,
I feel like he deserves a first pitch. Yeah.
absolutely, man.
And then maybe we can go there as his entourage,
I'm,
like when
I'm,
he shops at Uncle Otis.
I'm 100% down. Man.
What's 3 Asian polar bears doing in Chinatown?
Yeah, who are we? We've decided that I'm.
And one of them's blonde.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. All right, what's next? Yeah.
Anyway, Steph's
Rockets
great.
in trouble. Rockets in deep trouble.
Steph's great. Rockets, please go make a consolidation trade and get some people. And also, I'm not gonna try to say who's playing dirty and who's not, but like there was
Who
a
do you
play
think's
where
playing dirty?
there was a play where Steph hit a three, crossover pull up three over Dylan Brooks, and after the three was contested, like the shot's gone and everything, Dylan Brooks makes 3 separate swipes at Steph Curry's injured thumb.
Well, in a
That's
series
dirty,
that involves Draymond Green, I'm not gonna call anyone else dirty. So
That's dirty. I don't care. That's actually dirty. Like
Okay.
you're intentionally trying to swipe at someone's injured part.
I'm
Like,
just
that's-
saying you can build a pretty
that
good
ain't
auto
right, bro.
case for Draymond as well. So
I'm sure you can, but I mean that was nasty to see, man.
also,
And I
does
respect
Draymond
Dylan Brooks heavy.
only ever go after Europeans? To be discussed in a future episode.
Well, speaking of which, I'm actually building a playoff beef tracker, which we will use for a future segment, actually, because I want you to rank how spicy these beefs are. Maybe we have a little patty sponsor, the little June Plum beef tracker.
Okay, yeah, that'll be a free sponsor. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be free. I'll take a couple patties. There's no doubt. Shouts to Craig and Ivy. Yeah, I think it's just like kind of notable. Like I'm kind of keeping a running list of like which sort of
beefs
are happening across the
I
league.
saw this and I made a list, so hopefully you didn't forget any.
Okay, so I have KCP versus Jason Tatum.
I did not have that one. 0 out of 10.
Oh, you haven't been watching the series, but there was a play where Tatum went up.
I
Oh wow! I didn't even know we had that. Man.
Yo, for a second,
I
thought my condo fire alarm went off.
Alex Wong.
I freaked out.
So let me KCP versus Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum went up.
Yes, I
around
saw
the
this.
basket.
0
KCP
out
like
of 10.
intentionally fouled him. Tatum landed on his wrist. He missed the game.
Yeah.
It was ruled a flagrant foul. I guess both teams kind of commented on it. That's probably the biggest one in that series. But that series is really physical.
Yeah.
And of course, Joe Mazzulla's not helping when he's like, I think someone asked Joe Mazzulla how physical the series has been. He's like, well, no one's got arrested yet. So.
He's like, I like blood. This guy's trying to get into the juke joint at Cinema.
Yeah, no, honestly, Joe Mazzulla might be a vampire. Honestly, that's a great point. That is a great point, man. Joe Mazzulla might be invited into your house.
Like, I want blood.
He's like, oh man, that blood has got hemoglobin. It's good for you.
Okay, fine. I'll give it 2 out of 10. 2 out of 10.
Pascal Siakam versus Gary Trent Jr. I don't even know what is going on here. I don't know what the motivation is.
Twitter invented, but go on.
No, they just keep pushing each other and stuff.
Yeah. I think famously we all assumed that the chemistry was not good on those teams.
Wow.
On those Raptors teams, so maybe there's some lingering.
This is the tension is Pascal and Gary.
They're like, did you vote Darko for worst coach? Why didn't you vote Darko for worst coach? And they're shoving each other. I'll give that like a 4 out of 10. Neither of those guys are gonna fight each other.
That's right. Actually, both those guys are not fighters, unfortunately. Aaron Gordon versus James Harden.
Oh yeah, with a side of Christian Brown.
With a little sideline of Christian Brown. Norm Powell got in there. Chris Dunn got in there. Get a load of this
guy. That's like a 7 out of 10. Yeah.
6 technicals were called.
You know what? Shouts to the refs for not tossing anyone there.
Oh yeah.
Although
I didn't want to see Jalen Pickett in this game.
Yeah. Although as a Clippers fan, I did see the video of Michael Porter leaving the bench. But they still haven't announced anything, so I guess...
they should suspend him. Like the rule
No,
is
he
that
should by the letter of the law, man. By the letter of the law. You know I'm a lawman.
Oh man,
what?
you want to see Vlatko Chanchar in the series? Is that who you want?
Oh my god, man!
No, he's next up.
Is that Jokic's brothers?
Well, no.
Yeah. So I give that one a 7 out of 10, man. That beef was, punches were thrown.
Little smushes. I wouldn't say they were punches. They were
Yeah. I just love when Harden gets mad that a white boy fouls him because there was nothing to be mad at on that play.
Yeah, there was nothing there. He kind of
I enjoy. I
upsold it. Yeah.
You also missed Bobby. Were you gonna go back to Bobby Portis versus Aaron Nesmith?
Oh wow!
That was last night.
I forgot that one.
Yeah, that was last night when Portis, after the whistle, went for the ball when Nesmith.
They were trying to reach for the ball. That was stupid.
You could make so many combinations in the Pacers Bucks series.
Like
even before Dame got hurt, like Dame Halliburton was a thing, right? So.
Yeah. Norm Powell versus Jamal Murray. This is Jamal Murray picking up
when he
Norm
lifted
Powell in
him.
Game 1.
Yeah, that's like a 3 out of 10. Yeah. Again, those guys aren't fighting.
Those guys are not fighting. Also, Jamal Murray in that game, he was sick, and so he had the long sleeves and they're baggy. Jamal looked crazy the way he was hooping in a hoodie.
Yeah, he like me right now in the Uniqlo Heat tech.
Yeah, he was just like, yo. Also, I didn't realize, I don't know, Norm kind of jumped too, but Jamal picked him with one hand. He kind of sunned him a little bit. But
yo, not to tell hoopers how to dress, but long sleeve on the court is no aura, man.
Yeah, no, this ain't like the Premier League in December, man. Don't be wearing no long sleeve.
If Shea wore a white long sleeve the whole season, he wouldn't even be top 5 in MVP. Man.
No, he would have 0 aura, man. Jalen Williams will be like, I'm good.
Yeah. All right, what else you got?
LeBron James versus Anthony Edwards. There's a lot of shoving last game.
A lot of shoving. LeBron versus Gobert as well, because Gobert hit him in the back of the head.
That's the next one.
Yeah, I like LeBron versus Ant because this is the present of the league versus the future type. So I'm gonna give that 8 out of 10.
What did you think of those two guys laughing it up with 2 minutes left in the end of Game 3?
Oh yeah, MJ would never do that. They were like, that's why MJ's different. I'm like, maybe that's a problem. Yeah, maybe it's cool that LeBron is laughing. Yeah, I mean, I think LeBron's just at his point in his career. Like, he probably had a good time with Ant at the Olympics and stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, it's a non-story for me. Like, You know, LeBron's finally comfortable in his own skin. 5 championships. He doesn't have to like lock in like that.
He's got 4, so.
Oh yeah, 4. Damn, yeah.
He's got 4, man.
Yeah, damn. 4's not bad. Yeah.
4 is not bad at all. Tobias Harris versus Cat.
Oh yeah.
Meow.
Yeah, 4 out of 10.
Cat fight.
Should be the Pistons versus the refs, man. Yeah.
Hey, Pistons versus refs is the next one.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Pistons got
David
robbed.
Guthrie or whatever, bro. Like,
Absolutely robbed at the end.
yo,
of the game.
see, here's the thing I don't get. Like, you can bust out the blurry ass Hawkeye camera to give a foul to LeBron. You can review all the angles of the Aaron Gordon dunk, but when you miss a foul call at the end of the game that actually decides a game, you can't review that. You know what I mean? Like, why go 30 minutes later, the last 2-minute report, admit that you were wrong, which they did. Like, why isn't it, if the whole point is to try to get it right, why can't the refs go and review that?
I totally understand. And I think the issue is there's only certain triggers that actually allow you to review.
Right. But
and
that
one of the
should
things
be
with
a
a no
trigger,
call,
though.
one of the things with a no call
Right.
is that it allows you to like skirt the situation altogether, because if you don't call anything, you can't really rule anything out. Now, I guess the alternative is they call a foul each time on those kind of plays, and then they review it every time, which I
Right.
think is kind of annoying.
Yeah. So
But
technically, they
undeniably they got robbed. And
they
also,
should
by the
have called it and then reviewed it.
By the way, I was watching this game, and this is something that's bothered me all season, is when players like go and they're like, review, and they're also
Right.
like adamant about it. Not that I want to make a blame pie for the situation, because David Guthrie gets to eat the whole pie here.
Yeah. God
But he's sitting down for 8 courses of blame pie. But there was a play, the Pistons didn't have their challenge. And the reason they didn't have their challenge is because with 7 minutes left, on a simple out-of-bounds play, like it wasn't free throws, not an and one, nothing, just an out-of-bounds play that went in favor of the Knicks, Cade Cunningham, who was in the scrum, was like, review. And so JB Bickerstaff's like, what am I going to do? You're my star player. Like, of course I'm going to have to back you up. So he reviews. They look at it. There was no foul in the play. There was possession going to the Knicks, so the play was unsuccessful. They lose their challenge. It's 7 minutes in the first quarter.
Yeah. I feel like
Stars, stop begging your referees, or stop begging your head coaches for the reviews, especially
Yeah.
when it's not like a guaranteed play. Like, seriously, that actually ended up costing them huge in the end. Even though it's the like job of the officials to make the right play, and he was like 1 feet away from Josh Hart bumping him into Tim Hardaway Jr. So again, like the blame is on the refs, but like reviews should be taken seriously, man. And I feel
Yeah.
like I've been doing this on the Rap Pod all season, but seriously, stop. Just moaning. Like, you can't turn your moaning into wasting actual resources for your team.
Yeah, I don't feel like there's a lot of scenarios, especially in the playoffs. Regular season may be different, but like in the playoffs, I don't think there's a lot of scenarios where you should use your challenge in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Like even if, because sometimes these guys are challenging, and if you're right, it's like a jump ball. Like it's not even worth it.
Yeah.
Like you want one in your back pocket, but they got to do something about this, because like the worst thing that can happen to a team or a fan base is reading a last 2-minute report and being told that you should have won the game.
Right.
And that's what happened to the Pistons. But
Yo, they should do the last 2-minute report, but like Maury.
what, just audit?
No, like Jerry Springer style. They'd be like,
Cricket
"You
sound.
You are the father. All right.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Anyway.
So sorry. Shouts to Tom Herr and the Pistons Nation.
I'm not done with the beast, but I do.
Oh
feel
yeah,
sorry
beef. Yeah,
for
more
Tom
beef.
Herr
Yeah,
and
more beef.
rest
Yeah.
of Piston Nation. Draymond Green versus Jalen Green, the battle of the greens.
Oh yeah.
That was pretty funny. So Jalen Green
Yeah.
was yelling at Draymond, and I'm sure Draymond was giving it back. Apparently, I think someone caught Draymond saying, go paint your nails.
Yeah, he was doing that whole thing.
So,
I'm so
yeah.
tired. I'm so tired of Draymond.
By the way, Jalen Green said afterwards, he's just talking. He can't do anything else, so talking is his only way.
Yeah,
and I'm
it's
like,
just-
hey, man, I'm not against saying like bad things about Draymond, but like I don't want to hear from Jalen Green after a 9-point game.
Yeah.
that
Also,
he doesn't do anything else.
Also, you're down 2-1. Like Draymond's got the better resume. I'm gonna give this a 1 out of 10 because I'm tired of Draymond. Yeah.
Draymond versus the young generation, I feel like. By the way,
I'm
when
so
Draymond
tired.
eventually takes over as like the next Charles Barkley, but
Oh, that's gonna be so unbearable, man.
Ooh, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad.
Yeah, but shouts to Clutch.
Shouts to Clutch. Great party.
Yeah.
Please invite us back next year. We really
man.
enjoyed the
Hey,
logos.
how's my boy Moses Moody doing?
Moody, he's been fine, but
Okay.
he's just fine. Like he's like a Danny
Okay.
Green in waiting.
So my
basically.
dap up did not level him up. Yeah.
It worked at times. I thought it worked for game one at least.
Okay.
Tari Eason versus Pat Spencer.
Oh yeah, the towel throw.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one. 9 out of 10. Yeah. Yeah, because
it's just
that was
unnecessary beef. Like,
perfect towel throw, man. Landed right on his head. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he smoked Pat Spencer.
Yeah,
with the
great
towel,
toss. Great toss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paul Reed versus Cat. Just a lot of
man,
random
I'm
pushing.
a fucking b-ball Paul. 0 out of 10. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Tyler Hero versus Darius Garland. Both of them said the other person.
Oh
can't
yeah,
play
yeah. I was actually
defense.
very entertained by that. So 10 out of 10. Yeah.
I need Garland to be on the court at least. That's the only issue.
Yeah, that's a 10 out of 10. So
Yeah. Let's give you.
no,
Garland.
this has been. I feel like there's been more beefs and tension in these first rounds than like recent memory.
Yes, absolutely.
There's been a lot. Yeah.
No, it's been arguably the best first round, and this is probably my last. This is my last 10 things.
Yeah.
Is why is the playoffs that much better than the regular season?
Okay,
And we all understand why.
Yeah.
Like we all understand that this is a real thing.
Got
but,
four
like-
reasons. Got 4 reasons for you.
Okay, give me the 4 reasons. Because to me, I'm just like it is night and day. It's like 2 different
Yeah.
sports. Of
So
how good
number
this is.
one, shortened benches, so no bad players on the court for extended stretches. Like most
Okay.
extreme example is the Lakers playing their 5 guys, and like you mentioned, like all those teams, the Nuggets only got like 4 points off the bench or whatever.
Yeah, I'm not trying to see DeAndre Jordan.
No,
Peyton
no.
Watson may be acceptable at home.
I don't think David Adelman's trying to see DeAndre Jordan. No, but like you're getting the best players for extended stretches,
Okay.
so no
Sure.
bad players.
Okay. Reason 1.
Number 2, the fact that no lead is safe now because of the 3-point is actually good in the playoffs.
Okay.
So like the Clippers when they were down 15-20, like I'm not gonna stop watching because I'm like, damn, like this game is not over yet.
Right,
Like
right.
any team could make a run, and I feel like sometimes in the regular season that might be nobody really cares, but in the playoffs you can't stop watching because like these games are not
Yeah.
determined even when it's 15-20 points.
I was even watching Bucks Pacers last night, and
I kept waiting for the Bucks to come back.
Same. I was waiting
Yeah.
for at least some sort of a run because like they were hitting
Yeah.
threes. Kevin Porter Jr. was hitting step back threes as a bad person, and Bobby Portis hitting threes
Yeah.
as a maybe good person.
Yeah, so like I think the comeback element is huge.
Yes, I agree.
Except for the Rockets. When the Rockets are down 4, they got to start fouling. Yeah. Like it's over. Number 3, I think the refs are letting the guys play a bit more.
Oh, a bit more.
Yeah.
It
So a
is-
lot more.
It's hand-to-hand combat. Like
Yeah.
Every single
So-
series is good because every single series.
I don't know
makes
because
each
I
other.
didn't watch much regular season.
No,
So
but regular season was ass compared to this. Man.
yeah, so I think the refs. I hate to be pro ref, but I think the refs are doing a great job so far.
Well, I
No,
think-
because like even all these beefs like that are taking place on court, they've been able to control it. They're not overreacting, tossing guys. Like I feel like
yeah, no
the
one's
Clip-
really been tossed.
the
right?
Clippers Nuggets was like the best example, but like I feel like they've done a good job like letting the guys play, but also not like overreacting to like when things get out of hand.
Well, I think one of the things that people are always worried about is if you let a lot of physical play go, that's when injuries happen. And you could argue that like the Jimmy Butler thing, like that series was certainly very contentious. That's how Jimmy got injured, or Tatum and KCP, my number 1 beat.
Yeah.
right now, that was an intentional foul. But I think ultimately they are letting them play. I think what's really cool is like you end up wanting to watch every interaction of basketball. So like
Yeah.
for example, the Knicks Pistons, it's exciting to see if the Knicks can even bring it past half court in time. Because how many times have we seen like Dennis Schroeder like strip Jalen Brunson just pressing him full court? Like
Yeah.
that energy of like all game, like especially in the fourth quarter when one of these 2 turnovers happen, like that's huge. Like for example, the Lakers game, like the end of that game, the Lakers couldn't inbound the ball past half, and also Jalen McDaniels like fully like forced Luka into a 8-second violation basically, and Luka had to like call their last timeout, I believe, or a second last timeout. Like those interactions are huge. Every rebound is massive. Like defensive rebound, whether you got a push in the back, whether you got anything, like every rebound is contested. Every loose ball is contested. Every half court opportunity, like it just makes the overall experience like, damn, there's no chill at any point. You know what I mean? Like the intensity is just like always high, no matter what.
Yeah, and the last one is just like speaking to the beefs too. I think it's just like these rivalries develop over the 2 weeks of a series and stuff. Like as the series gets deeper, like it just intenses, and you never get any of that in the regular season. Yeah, those are the four, I guess.
Those are
for me.
four pretty good reasons, man. I mean, also
Yeah.
the other big reason is we don't have the 14 teams in the NBA that no one wants to see.
Yeah, I think too, like I don't know if it's parity, but it's like these first round series have all been like close. Like outside of OKC, Memphis, and Cleveland, Miami, and you would expect that because those are the 1-8. Like you could argue every other series has been close, even the ones that have been 3-1.
Right.
Like it hasn't been all blowouts.
Yeah.
So even Boston Orlando is like somehow
Orlando's getting
low-key
good.
kind of entertaining.
Corey Joseph been playing great.
Yeah. First one to report he was going to Orlando during summer
Watch.
league. Yeah, so that's good. So yeah, no, the playoffs have been amazing, man.
Yeah. No,
They
seriously,
have been
it's
amazing. And now we
it's
get
refreshing. It really
now we
is.
get game 5s and game 6s, so it keeps getting better,
Do you feel like the NBA? I guess like we did spend a lot of time this season, and it was a big topic conversation of like, is the NBA in trouble? Like we were at All-Star Weekend. Like we could personally attest to how boring that was in person.
Yeah, but we can't wait to go next year. Yeah.
But we can't wait to go next year. The tanking was also such a big issue this year. In-season tournament was like not that memorable. Like not a lot of people remember that the Bucks won that thing.
Yeah, could you even name the last 4 teams?
Indiana played, and no,
Did
did
the
they play?
Lakers
Did they play Minnesota and Minnesota? No, they played Milwaukee. And Milwaukee beat them.
Did the Lakers make it? No, the Lakers didn't make it. Yeah, you couldn't even name the last
so
4.
I guess OKC made it, right?
Because OKC lost in the finals to
Yes.
Milwaukee.
Yeah. See, okay, this is the point. That no one,
Yeah, no, but that's all I'm saying, though. Yeah, like,
no one cares about the in-season tournament.
Yeah.
The in-season tournament's a brick. Tanking's a brick. All-Star Weekend's
Yeah.
a brick. And then you get to the playoffs, and it's like, yo, this is incredible. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
there's
Maybe we just have too much programming. Maybe it's a programming issue because, like, the quality of the programs are very good. You know what I mean?
there's just nothing that's ever gonna fix the regular season unless they cut games, and they won't cut games.
No.
I think we just have to live with the fact, like, unfortunately for a lot of people, the season doesn't start until the playoffs. Like a lot of people don't tune in until it's the postseason.
It's like when people say, like, in basketball, like, you don't tune in until the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
Like, that's kind of how it feels like year round.
yeah.
But that is at least, though, the fourth quarter is good. And the fourth quarter right now, being the NBA playoffs, is like must watch every single night. So that's it. That's it for the pod. That's 10 takeaways from this weekend.
Yeah, we got some tangerine.
Yeah, we could do some tangerine. I also went and like looked it up for you guys.
Oh.
No, it's not. One sec.
Oh, are we talking about the Final Four?
Yeah. What did you guys guess it was?
OKC's in there.
Yeah.
Milwaukee won it.
Yeah.
We said
I'm gonna go
Indiana?
with Indiana.
No.
Boston?
Nope. It's actually ridiculous when I saw it.
Atlanta?
Detroit?
Atlanta was in the East End, and the Rockets were in the West.
Oh, yeah, because
Yeah.
Rockets upset the Warriors to get there.
Yeah.
Some shit.
Boring.
Yeah. Crickets.
Where is it? Here it is.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Yo, now our whole lives revolve around not getting that sound on the pod.
Yeah, seriously, though.
Yeah. Also, straight note that probably gets crickets. I was thinking about your June Plum sponsored beef patty NBA all beef whatever tracker, and now I just want the all NBA Rangoon team.
Oh, my God.
Anyway, yeah, let's get to a little bit of tangerine to close out the show, and that will take us to the Tangerine Fan Inbox. Tangerine is the official bank of the Toronto Raptors, foundational partner of WNBA Canada and NBA Canada, and of course, they're not just fans of basketball, they're fans of basketball. They're fans of fans who are crashing out, wondering how much they would give up for Giannis Antetokounmpo. If you're hearing this, there's no doubting your commitment. Fans like you are at the heart of what makes this game great. So while we enjoy the best games in a 7-game series, Tangerine is turning the spotlight from the court to the stands and celebrating the way Raptors fans support their team, because this is how we fan. To learn more, visit tangerine.ca/basketball. Nothing crazy. I'm just going to give you a couple like quick straight comments from the show. First off, Scotty picks and fillers for Giannis, check mark. People are willing to give it all up. Will, congrats. to Liverpool for a record
Hey.
20th title. Please be nice to my Blues
on.
this weekend. We need a dub.
Mickey Mouse title.
With hope
Let's see. Arsenal
in your
finished second.
heart. Ooh, a distant second, man.
Newcastle.
They in the 60s, man. They
Yo,
got
where's Man U, man? I gotta scroll.
United's like 16.
Yo, United in 14th, man.
Yeah.
Whoa. What happened to United, man?
Yeah, they're terrible. That's what happened to United, man.
That sucks,
They're
man.
ass. Yeah.
Wow, this was a cruise for you, man. Easy.
Low-key, it was kind of a cruise, yeah. Liverpool was like, in the driver's seat all season. Unexpected, though, still. But great win for Liverpool. Was riding high yesterday. Was going through downtown with my iconic Liverpool blue, or purple
Yeah.
jersey. This one I'm wearing actually is from the 07
Plus, you had your
season.
scarf, too.
Got the Steven Gerrard in the back, you know what I mean? This is I paid $200 for this one, actually.
This is in Vintage We Trust pickup.
Honestly, that was a steal, honestly. A Stevie G is hard to find these days. I was riding through the city with my Liverpool scarf, with my Liverpool jersey, pulled up to the run. I was like feeling amazing, had my sunglasses on. Dropped 34, career high, 34 at the run.
Who counts pick up like that, man?
Me, man, I was,
It was
cooking.
crazy.
I hit
Nobody
3 game
would-
No,
winners.
Alex.
like that.
Alex, you don't even understand.
Ugh.
Like, he put on a Allen Iverson jersey and proceeded to take every shot
Every
that came to him.
shot, man.
Like, catch and shoots, dribbling around, pulling up. Like, Will has... Yeah, it was actually insane to watch. It was so much so that I just, like, told people, because I was on the other team, just guard for the shot, because no matter what, he was letting it go.
Oh,
I need to come and Daryl Morey audit these stats, man. Holy.
Yo, I was 34. I'm telling you, man. I was counting.
He
those-
did really hit a lot.
Although
He also
it
shot
was-
a lot.
It was 29 in the first hour and only 5
This
in the
guy
last
has
hour.
hourly stats. This
Yeah,
guy has
yeah.
hourly splits.
No, he was hot at the top, and then he added a little bit of a slump.
My
but
second half was pretty nasty.
Yeah,
My
exactly,
goodness.
exactly.
But shout out to
Congrats.
Liverpool.
I don't know
Congrats
what
to
my
the
stats were.
Liverpool Reds.
Yeah, man. What are we playing this weekend? Chelsea? Yeah, I mean, Chelsea, you guys can have that, man.
Oh, the season's not over?
No, we still got 4 more weeks, man.
Oh, damn.
We're
Early clip.
mathematically,
It's secured.
we
It's secured.
mathematically
Yeah,
secure
yeah.
the top.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, up next, $2 from Dara K. Giannis for Scotty, IQ, and some picks. Would you? I think the answer for you guys is pretty much yes.
I would try to keep IQ,
Okay.
mostly for the shooting element around
Okay.
Giannis. But I'm not going to quibble on it. You know, if they need IQ, you can have IQ.
Yo, you can have whatever
I'm
you
sorry,
like,
man.
man.
No,
All
I'm
right.
sorry.
How about
Honestly,
a couple?
it's not the right time to trade for Giannis, unfortunately, but it is what it is. Yeah.
It's always the right time.
A couple players that people would like to see on the Raps. First off, would love to see Nemhard on the Raps.
Oh my God!
We would love Victor Nembiyama to be here too, man. I think
Yes.
that'd be amazing.
The only time you can see Nemhard in Toronto is on the Hello and Welcome podcast, baby.
Ooh, all right.
Interview-
Would also love to see Ty Jerome on the Raps.
Only time you've seen
man.
Jerome on the Raptors is on the Hello and Welcome podcast.
we can get a Jerome Raptors jersey though. Come on, man.
That would go fire. Yeah,
That'd be
That would be pretty
sick.
fire.
that'd be really fun.
Yeah.
To Alex's
I don't know how we can get Ty Jerome. That's the real issue because
Mm.
he's. By the way, he's only making $2 million, I think, this year, maybe 2.5. So he might.
Sure.
He might 10 times the salary. Like he should 10 times the salary this year.
Fuck, I wish
All
I
right.
was Ty Jerome. Imagine making $2 million a year.
And people are like, that's a bargain.
Crickets.
I'm not gonna go find it. Up to Alex.
Those are not crickets.
Crickets. Stick to meowing. So to Alex's point, Nico rubbing his hands, Birdman style.
I'm just saying, how out of 10, how good you think Nico's feeling today? Like
Not good, man.
Luka down 3-1, you know.
Nico Harrison can't even leave his house in Dallas without,
He got to
private
be feeling
security.
pretty good seeing the way the Lakers are falling apart here in the first round.
You know what would have been a better team than the Lakers is if the Mavericks just kept Luka.
I just can't I can't wait for Lakers fans to be like, yo, imagine if we still had Max Christie.
Yo, the funniest thing is I saw people being like, yo, AD, we would have won this series with AD.
Oh man.
Uh,
The crash out is coming, man.
The crash out
Holy.
is going to be great, man. I can't wait. I love
Damn.
the playoffs.
was the move then to have actually traded LeBron for Luca instead?
Oh my god.
I mean, there would be less redundancy.
Yeah. All right.
But you're not trading LeBron, man. Plus, you
No,
got
of course
Bronny.
not. Of course not.
What are you going to do with Bronny if you trade his dad?
Yeah, I guess you have to package them.
Just look at Bronny like, I'm sorry, dude.
Will, you were making some Ant comparisons. Here's a comparison for you. and is the Randy Orton of the NBA. Hashtag legend killer.
Wow.
RKO.
That's
Yeah.
so good. Out of nowhere, man.
Out of nowhere.
Damn.
What is Ant's ceiling? Because like when I'm looking at the level that he's at right now, and he's only 23.
Yeah.
Like,
he's
Does he have best player in the league potential?
best at his position, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if
I
he's
think
ever
at
going
this
to be
point
better
it just
than
comes
like,
down. Like I don't know that is like he just has to actually win stuff at this point
Okay.
and get like accolades. I think is
Like,
probably.
do you
what's
think
next.
Ant could be better than like Tatum?
He might be better than Tatum right now.
Damn.
Tatum's really good.
Don't
but
tell
he might be
Bill
better.
that. Yeah.
He might be better than Tatum right now. I would
Yeah,
love to see
so
them. I love to. Well, I guess I wouldn't love to see a Minnesota versus Boston final, but
I mean, Ant could be a top 5 player. He might be approaching that now.
that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
At that point, you got to ask the question. You know.
Yeah, but I mean, Jokic will always be there, I guess, for now.
Hmm.
And then, I don't know. I guess we're slotting in Wemby too early. He's got to, like, win some stuff.
You got to make the playoffs
Absolutely.
first, man.
Yeah.
All right. Up next. Honestly, if there's a Memphis fire sale, I'd buy low on Desmond Bane and his little arms. Not gonna lie.
Yo, I think Desmond Bane might have like a bigger circumference on his bicep than he has like length of his arm. Like his arm looked nuts.
get
He
what
looks
you
like
mean, yeah.
Popeye. Yeah.
Where's the cricket sound? Yeah.
Oh my god! I'll just play it.
I suppose it is hard for us to like replicate that sound.
That's just Birdman. And finally here, just a shout out to our boy JR Weidman. Blame Pie should be a continuous segment. Lol, this is great. Yeah, I think that was a fun
Yeah,
segment.
we're going to serve up 16 blame pies.
Oh my goodness.
Oh
In
man, I
these
can't wait
playoffs.
for that Miami Heat blame pie.
It's
No
just
one's gonna care. About
it's
the
just
Heat
Pat
blame
Riley, 100% pineapple.
And to close it out, just because with all the Giannis talk and what draft pick you would pick, I thought we should do a tankathon to see what hypothetical draft pick do we get and would you guys trade it. So I'm going to load that up for you now.
Yo,
All right, guys, where are we landing?
after all this playoff talk, I forgot about Utah. I forgot about Washington. I forgot about Charlotte and New Orleans, man.
Yo, I'm going to get them jumping to second.
Okay,
Nah,
Will?
we win in the draft today, baby. We win in the draft.
All right, let's
Just
sit
because
it.
off the vibe of Liverpool winning,
We have dropped to 8.
Ah!
Charlotte getting number 1 pick, man. This is the fakest sim ever, man.
Damn. 8th is tough, yo.
Damn.
Philadelphia dropped at least a couple, so that's pretty nice.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Damn.
That
All
was a
right.
bummer.
Wait, Dallas gets a 3rd pick?
How? Oh, yeah, I guess
Whoa.
they didn't make the playoffs.
Because Nico Harrison stays winning.
Whoa, that's a huge jump.
Yeah.
Damn.
No, jumped 8 spots. That's crazy.
I mean, this is how you know the NBA was like, we got to save Dallas.
They're not going to save Dallas, man.
Really?
Yeah, let them
Dallas is
go.
a big city, man. We're talking metropolitan areas, man. What about the DFW or whatever? Dallas Fort Worth.
You just sound like a creaky bed of sorts. I just
Nah, you kind of sound like a sea lion, man.
yeah. Oh yeah. Like yeah. I could hear that.
Oh, man. All right. That's it.
tough. Oh, that's tough. Well, this is fun. Playoffs
This
are
was fun.
Raptors
We have
grades.
we have some more Raptors content for you coming on Wednesday. Don't want to miss that, of course. And then we have actually Raptors content coming for you on Friday as well. Actually, going to be a pretty Raptors loaded week. As much as the Raptors are in off season, but kind of want to hand out a report card for the Raptors, and who knows, maybe even talk to some Raptors players themselves. But that's it for today. For myself, Will, Alex, and Jerome. You've been listening to the Hello and Welcome podcast presented by Betway. Enjoy the playoffs, guys.